The owl of the night. What groovy music he makes.
It's Inshoma's Night Owl Whirling Show.
Disco plesiosaur. Chicken dinner. Jack Oxen. Chicken dinner. Oh, this is insane. Okay. That's weird. Okay.
I'm so sleepy I can't seem to keep awake.
And now it's time for night owling with that fuzzy-faced friendly giant. And Shoma.
Oh! Yeah! Oh my god, this is gonna be weird. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the new night owling. And when I mean by new night owling, I mean pretty much the same show, new graphics. But of course, by popular request, or mostly by the request of my co-host, who I shall be introducing right now.
Mr. Popular.
Paint of you! Oh, yeah! Ha! Ooh, Martians!
Oh my
God! They're freakish creatures!
Thank you! Yeah! Fuck them birds! Me! How wonderful to see you all! Hello, Hooters and Scooters.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody, me! It's my turn!
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
am Mr. Wonderful!
Yes, introduce...
Because I am so wonderful!
Damn right.
That's it.
Okay, hold on. I hear myself in the background.
Oh.
Okay.
That's the old night owling coming back to seek his bloody vengeance upon the new night owling.
Indeed. Okay, so yeah, and you
the
are
old
Mr.
Navy.
Yes, you are Mr. Wonderful because Brayton, with a little bit of assistance from me, but mostly Brayton.
Well, certain watermarks would have you believe otherwise.
Your name's on there,
like Jack Kirby. Okay.
Yes, Brayton helped overhaul the graphics for Night Owling. So yeah, that's why you see our official mascot, Hootie the Night Owl, who we've made fun of, or at least mentioned in the past. Basically, the poor little guy suffers from insomnia, and he's listening to our horrible podcast in the middle of the woods. So,
how many hours do you think he's been up?
Oh my goodness,
insurmountable hours. As many hours as there are recorded history of this program.
Well, not counting live stream of consciousness. How many episodes have we done? We've at least done 45 episodes, and each one is roughly around 3 hours to 5 hours. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's just play it safe and say take 45 times 3. I can't do the math, so unless I pull out a calculator. Or you do it before me because you're Mr. Cell Phone Fancy. Yeah.
All I know is that we've been doing this for 6 years.
Oh god, that sounds like a nightmare.
It is. It has been a waking nightmare. A
Mhm.
lucid nightmare, though. We have some control.
Yes. So yeah, maybe at least 144 hours, but we will do a decent count in the near future and give you an exact number, especially after tonight's episode. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be here for a little bit. So before we continue, a little bit of house cleaning. I deeply appreciate you were trying to help the audience and our viewers last week. We were going to do our annual 4th of July show. Damn it!
April. But April Fools. We were going to announce April Fools at the end of it. So it was going to be 4th of July. And then we were going to say, haha, gotcha.
Yeah.
You thought we were months ahead of you.
Yeah, exactly. No, we
And if you say shark, there's a panic, of course, on the 4th of July.
Oh yeah, we don't want that happening. But yeah, we were going to have our annual I almost said it again. April
Valentine's
Fools.
Day. Oh, yes, April
Yeah.
Fools.
Our April Fool's Day episode, and we were going to have Lewis come back with us because he was free that day. Unfortunately, massive winds in Los Angeles basically destroyed my internet, and I tried getting it back together, but it did not work out. So thankfully, I had his cell phone numbers to both Lewis and Brayton was kind enough to tell everyone that the show was basically Kabootnik. And we almost lost tonight's show because I'll just read what somebody in the comments said. Raph's neighbor is Tim the Toolman Taylor, who just launched an out-of-control auto-guided buzzsaw through Raph's dining room window while grunting and swinging jerky in an imitating manner for context.
I wonder who had the ear to the ground and who reported that.
I know.
Wherever they are.
I know.
they're
So yeah,
spot
thank
on.
you so much. Yeah. So
Yeah.
by the way, my real name is not Raph and Shoma. It's Wilson C. Hort. It's Wilson.
Ah.
Unfortunately,
What was his buddy's Al? Was his bearded buddy's name?
yeah, Al was his bearded sidekick, who was loosely based on Bob Vila, and he was more of a coworker than really a friend.
I saw that actor in a commercial not too long ago where he's selling like garden hoses, and it opens with the great line, "I love my hose." Just like that. He says
Right.
it so enthusiastically, you know.
Yeah. By the way, I can't find the pun machine, so should we use the rim shot machine?
Go ahead.
Okay, let me. Yeah, since I have the folder, I had the folder open.
We have new bells and whistles and sounds for this comeback of Night Owl.
Yes. Let me make sure. Okay. So. Ooh, I don't see the meow. Okay. Well,
If there is an appearance of a certain feline tonight, there is an alarm to accompany that.
Mm-hmm. So hold on. Halloween intro. Crap. I'm gonna have to.
How about I just go and there's your pun right there.
Yeah. There it goes. So everything. Anyways, how you been doing lately, Brayden?
Better than you. I am okay. I am well, there is some construction going on right outside of my house. Not to be constructed upon.
Mhm.
In the heat of the night, last night, under the cover of darkness, someone dropped off an enormous orange, not road work ahead, but be prepared to stop sign right outside of my house. And there are cones, big orange traffic cones lining the street. So I don't know what's going to be going on out there. Maybe they're going to fix some potholes or dig up some sewage line. I don't know. But it's bound to be incredibly noisy and awful, and I will soon turn into Michael Douglas from Falling Down. Why are you digging up the street? Then I shoot a rocket launcher.
Exactly. We don't know, man. It's Los Angeles. Oh my goodness. So anyways, and also, ladies and gentlemen, if you have comments, go ahead and share us, but hopefully there are people actually watching tonight's show. We'll see what happens. Please. But we actually do have a theme for tonight, and that is Brayton wants to show off some artwork because Brayton has become an artist.
Oh, that's so demeaning when you say it that way. Brayden picked up a big boy pencil last year. He's getting so good.
It's so amazing. We put it on the refrigerator with the magnets and all that.
Yeah, I do think it's pretty amazing that you all seem to think I only picked up a pencil 2 years ago. I've been drawing my entire life. I've always just been very self-conscious about showing my things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there has been a great improvement in my artwork because I've been doing it every day for the past I don't know, 2 years at this point. I've been drawing every day. I take my sketch pad with me all the time, and it is a muscle that if you do work on it and stretch it and exercise it and put in the reps, you do see improvement. I've gotten much, much better at drawing the little things like feet and hands and poses and noses and things like that. Moses supposes. But yeah, I don't know. This won't just be for me, though. It'll be a shared art showing off stream because we both do that on occasion. And I'm seeing you just cycle through an endless amount of David Letterman photos and screen.
Okay, yeah, Brayton can see my art files right now. Can I share the spaceship here, or don't worry about it?
I didn't look in my folder. I put that in my folder that I sent you in the Google Drive.
All right,
it's in there.
Or I'm just seeing.
But show the one that I put in there because it's got the swirls on the eyes that I photoshopped in.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, I'm just double checking to see if there's anything I want to share here.
Share the PNG of your cat that you have there.
Which PNG?
You passed it about 500 pictures ago. You scrolled past it again.
Oh,
there.
Oh yeah.
It's art. Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa.
She sure thinks she is, so that's for sure. Okay, just double checking. No, I think we got plenty of stuff, and I may end up doing some artwork a little later. So, okay, but yeah, little breathers. So, other than the artwork we're about to share, have you been doing lately, Brayton?
I mean, the construction outside my house was the big talking point I had to lead with. Other than that, I'm fine. I'm cold.
Mm-hmm.
No ill sicknesses to report.
Okay. Does that mean we have to worry about another cold spell where you're at?
Well, I don't think you have to worry one damn bit because you're on the other side of the globe.
House was the big
but
talking
where
point
I'm
I had
at,
to lead with.
there has been this past week through the Midwest and stuff. There has been tornado warnings and floods and rains. Like again, these last couple of weeks have been nothing but rain. I've mentioned that to you in private, I think, or on our Twitch streams. Lightning and rain and thunderstorms and all that wonderful sound effect horror ambiance. I don't know. That's all I got for you, Raph. I'm trying to stall for you, my friend, but I can't.
Okay, yeah, no. Let me see. Yeah, let me get stuff ready. Oh, what the hell? I'll just use the makeshift screen I made because, like I said, I had neighbor troubles. So no, Tim.
Gym neighbors.
Yeah, okay. Do an impression of you telling Tim to stop, and I'll do Toolman the Tim Taylor.
Tim, stop, Tim. Tim, stop it. Stop, Tim. It's not funny anymore, Tim. Stop.
Okay, let's do it again with feeling.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Tim, please. No, stop. Police, help. Tim, there's a monkey man here. Tim, fire hose.
Okay, let's do that one more time.
Who will be the last man standing? That's his new show.
Okay. Oh, really? Oh, wait, is that the one with his standing? I don't know. He's always in a sitcom. How many sitcoms has he done? That's like 4 so far.
I think 2.
Son of a gun. Hold on. This is not what I wanted. Okay, what am I doing here? The spirit of Bonobo Joe lives on. Okay, I'm getting some files open and ready soon.
Let's see. Kaiju Commander says, "See you soon, Raph."
Okay, everything.
In hell.
I'll get you, alligator man. I had a weird dream recently that movie had a much more pleasant ending. where the mutant alligator man, after killing Lon Chaney Jr., goes back into the house and just lays down on the ground, and his wife, or ex-wife, I guess, just lays down next to him. It's like, honey, dear, you don't have to be crazy. Just calm down. And everybody went home.
In the exploding house that explodes?
No, the house was okay. I think it didn't explode.
No, it exploded, right?
Not in my dream. The house was okay.
Oh, well, all right.
Yeah,
rewriting history.
Yeah, like I said, it was a weird dream. I don't know why that movie suddenly popped back into my head, but no, it was just, the wife laid down next to the alligator man on the living room floor. The scientist dude and the other love interest was like, well, I guess he's got his wits back about him. Are going to worry about
What a line! Take that, tampering in God's domain. Well, I think he would have got his wits back about him. End credits.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I don't know why. It was such an odd dream. It's like, what other traumatic or terrifying movies would have been a lot better if they just ended incredibly pleasantly and anticlimactically?
Brr, 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 brr. Oh golly. I mean, I don't know. The Manster, that kind of is a similar well, that, you know what, that kind of does end happily and anticlimactically, because everything reverts back to normal, and Linda, is it Linda, his wife?
Yeah, his actual wife.
Yeah, go home, Linda. Yeah, takes him right back and clutches to him, and she needs help. She needs to just cut the tie there, you know.
Yeah, it's because it's pretty okay. So for anybody who doesn't know, The Manster is a movie from the 1950s, probably most likely 1955 or 1956. It was an American production.
I think it's 1959.
59. Okay, I thought it was a little earlier because it seemed a little primitive, but it was an American production from United Artists, one of their many attempts to try to get into the monster movie biz. But it was filmed completely in Japan with Japanese talent, including several English-speaking roles by somewhat recognizable Toho actors. Most notably, the man who played Nelson, Jerry Ito, as a detective. But no, you want to take it from here?
Take it to the river and drop it in the water. Yeah, the guy gets turned into a two-headed monster by a mad scientist, and then he splits in half, and then his monster friend dumps his mistress into a volcano, and then he pushes his monster man friend into the volcano, and then they take him out on a stretcher, and then they say, well, he'll have to stand trial, or we'll have to look into all the people that he murdered. And then she's like, I'll stand by however long it takes. And then his best buddy, reporter buddy named Ian, gives a long speech about how we all have to remember the good in Larry and in all men. And
Yes, in all men.
Couldn't be any more anticlimactic.
Yep, indeed. So, but yeah, do you think?
Da, 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 da. Yeah.
Oh my god! But like you said, it's like my brother Gabe saw the movie with me recently too, and he noted that there is no saving the cat moment with Larry whatsoever. It's pretty much just Larry firing on all cylinders of being this pretty miserable guy. So yeah, it's funny too, because the two married couple, not the lead lover, so to speak, they were married in real life. So I don't think they were getting anything out of the way personally, but they sure were.
I think so. It's the B movie monster version of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. It's all there on celluloid for all of us. I think Cronenberg could have done an interesting remake of that in the 80s.
Okay, so
with the body horror thing and the splitting into two halves, great effects you could imagine.
Oh yeah, so
David Cronenberg.
Oh yeah, the man who behind many horrible things. Okay, so you want to start off with Common Brands here while I change the screen?
How about we start off with one of yours, Raph? You take the lead, since I've been saving your bacon the last 15 minutes. You go ahead with this big picture here.
This is not the greatest show in the world. It's just a tribute.
But every time I'm trying to say something, your response is, yep. Pretty much. Yep. Yeah. French fried potatoes.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Jack Hodgson.
Yeah. I just want to ask, thank you so much for the audio, though. I'm so glad we kind of kept the original music, because that's always been such a favorite theme. I forget which episode of Night Owling, or which of my many terrifying nightmare streams, did that weird yes, oh yes thing come from?
Your cacophony of obnoxiousness at the start of the mini duplicating rafts. That
Yes.
came from not one of the night owlings, just one of your randomly posted art streams, I think, from Twitch
Mm-hmm.
that you posted on your channel.
There you go. Okay.
There's your answer.
Yeah, so yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just to make things a little easier on me tonight, I'm just going to be sharing the images through Photoshop tonight through this little handy screen that I cut open into Brayton's artwork. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. But yeah, so this is something I've mentioned before, but I got this picture done recently. I am releasing an art book in about 2 months from now, if not sooner, if things go really well. And I hope to sell this around in conventions and online if possible. It's inspired by the Japanese phenomenon known as Pachimon, basically weird little trading card, postcard, bootlegs that were sold in basically mass-produced bootleg cards featuring very heavily altered monsters. You've probably seen the video, no need for me to revisit it again. And this is going to be the main artwork for the cover and the center, one of the gallery centerpieces. But yeah, I finally finished these two. It took me a little while because I used to do huge character collages like this all the time when I was younger. But now that I'm older and sadder and not as fast as I used to be, yeah, it takes me a little longer to do it. But I'm happy that this one, I was able to connect the two very separate halves towards it. Although I had to do some alterations, like make this little slug guy's belly a little bigger than usual. It was funny, me and Brayton had a serious argument about whether or not we should cover this up with somebody else. But no, this is pretty much done. And other than maybe 1 or 2 pages left, no, 3 text pages and maybe a couple images, this is pretty much finished. So, but I'm not going to go into detail who's who, although apparently everyone has really come... That was Brayton leaving.
Squirrel!
Yeah. That was Brayton on his motorcycle. He's going to go get something from 7-Eleven. So, but yeah, apparently everyone's really fallen in love with Helltops here. Even Brayton. And Brayton's been a big help as, well, unofficially, he's an editor to this book. And then we also a big help from Patrick Galvin as well. And if this book goes really well, not only will I know exactly what the follow-up book will be. It will be more original monster characters with proper backgrounds. But yeah, Brayton, how do you feel about contributing to this insane Pachishoma, which is a play of Pachimon mixed with Inshoma, Pachimon itself being the Japanese slang word for stolen monsters, and Inshoma meaning weird fat guy who runs the stream.
Oh, I feel absolutely thrilled to the gills. I don't. It's been fun. I just want to help you get it out there because it is something that has been long digesting, or gesting, or gestating, fermenting.
Yeah,
I don't know.
fermenting.
It's been in your works for a long time, and I know you've made some premature announcements in the past about it before. So I am just here. I'm your teacher, or not teacher. Your what do you call them with the pom-poms and the hoo-has? The cheerleaders.
Mm-hmm.
I am your cheerleader on the field, just trying to push this sad little turtle up the hill so he can show his stuff to the world. And
Yes.
yeah, I don't know. I am not contributing though. Someone named Hermit Dick is, Hermit K Dick.
Yes,
that may
Herman
be.
K. Dick. He's another editor. He has absolutely nothing to do with Brayton whatsoever. And he will get a bio in it, but Brayton will be acknowledged in the acknowledgement. So if he wishes, he can put this on his resume.
Oh, man. like Grizzly 2 on Clooney's. I'll have it right there. I don't know. My favorite probably from what I'm seeing right now though is the I like the fat purple thing.
Oh, this
with
dude?
the beer belly there. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Plugo. He is a giant sea slug father with telepathic abilities, and his daughter Pliga is over there. That's why he's terrified, because she's hanging out with the giant moon bull, Tully, and a terrifying giant crocodile from the future, Telochump. So he's like, no, my daughter. And she's like, daddy.
If they had word balloons. It's not too late to put in the word balloons of your little improvs here.
No, I won't.
Oh, daddy. Whoa. Just put everyone saying something. No, but no, I I will happily put Pluga on my resume. So
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm very happy with these characters. And by the way, Pliga and Plugo, true to the Pachamon spirit, they're heavily reworked versions of Gloop and Gleep from Hanna-Barbera's classic animated series, The Herculoids, which is currently getting a comic reboot, reimagining right now through Dynamite Comics.
Yeah, and just for clarification, you did all of these at once, so these are not, because the main monsters featured in your book are sort of photoshopped reworkings of previous fan art, but this is all new original stuff for the cover.
Yes, yeah. No, what's great about these characters were, even knowing that the vast majority of them are completely reworked from pre-existing monsters, like for example, Helltops here is basically Baragon. Phantom Denim, which Brayton hilariously has made into a very creepy guy, is a reworked Mirror Man. This basketball-headed guy used to be Draco Azul. Yeah, I'm not going to go who's who here, but yeah, all these monsters are heavily worked from other people. The broccoli guy is the Attack of the Mushroom People. But no, the great thing is, I just with a little bit of tweaks, I can reuse these people as totally new original monsters. Like I've done really good sketches of Seahorse King here, who can pretty much stand as his own monster, even though he's just a very heavily altered Nova from Ultraman Leo. Yeah, so yeah, I'm very happy about this. And again, thank you so much, Brayton. You know, it's funny, this book is definitely going to be offbeat and silly because there's a lot of text in it explaining who most of these characters are. And as you know, I have a bit of a cynical, could you call it cynical or just kind of stupid sense of humor?
Let's use the parlance of our Zoomer times and say problematic.
Hey, it's not that bad. But no, it definitely has a cynical, satirical edge. Well, I should have just said that. And amazingly, Brayton captured that spirit beautifully with a lot of the edits, and even some of the, like one or two of the articles he actually wrote. Unfortunately, one of the monsters that Brayton has taken to heart, Captain Gorilla Hook, is not on this cover. So,
boo. But there on the back cover was a hook.
Yes. Oh my God. If I wasn't putting an advertisement for the printing company, which they give you like an extra discount if you do that, I would have just had a giant hook stick in the back. So.
Hook, give us the hook. Hook,
yes.
Hook, bring us the hook.
Yes. So okay, now it's funny. Usually I like to make a big deal out of April Fools, but unfortunately April Fools got away from us. And with that said, there was this really stupid gag that I was going to do on April Fools where I admitted to everybody that I did not create the character of Miss Blue. I just ripped her off from an episode of Buck Rogers, but in reality, no, this was just some stupid alien design I found online. One episode of Buck Rogers, and I was going to share this around online and see if anybody got it. Yeah, but
I feel almost ashamed for a certain fan piece that will come up later tonight that I designed.
Yeah, okay, maybe this is actually a good precursor to what we'll see later, because Brayton really hates the character of Miss Blue, who has been recently...
I think I've made that clear over the last 6 years.
Yes, but recently she's been reimagined she's been reimagined as a comical foil. Big thanks to Wynn and her voice acting delivery in last year's April Fool's video. I think it was last year's April Fool's. But yeah, no, this stupid gag got away from me, and I'm glad. I'll share it here, but that's basically it. I'm done with it. Bye. Okay, but...
I'm starring in Fuck Rogers!
Problematic? All right, and on to a much more nicer alien. So, Brayton, do you want to explain who this character is?
This is a character that you created unsolicited. See, for inspiration here, I played the fifth. I don't know who he's based off of, where he comes from. Mm-hmm. But much like Stuart Freeborn when he designed Yoda, I see nothing of myself in this. But this is Kano Branzit, or a character that Raph designed after somebody, a certain someone. Mm-hmm. And has kind of become an icon for me over the years in terms of... whenever you put cartoons up on screen, that's the one that, represents myself. Though he has gone through some design changes from being a golden-skinned person to a silver-skinned person. Not that you can tell in this simple pencil drawing. But he's a Damian, mm-hmm. The Damian overlords, whatever they're called.
The Grand Damian Empire. So just a quick What is
Oh,
it?
one of those.
Context. Yeah. For quick
A quick
context.
hop of bums.
Yes. No, one night I felt a little frisky and I decided to take some of our friends' names and redo them as alien characters based on some of my original alien species. Brayton Connor became Connell Branson, a member of the
Why
Grand.
did you become Hoth Gozu then? Where does that? Why did you turn yourself into a giant goat man?
Yeah, I don't. Oh, yeah, the member of the Mephanoids, who are basically pan-like aliens that are mistaken for demons or pans. Or satyrs? Satyrs, that's how you say their names, or fawns, however you want to. But yeah, I don't. I've always had a favorite. I always liked those kind of weird red-skinned goatmen aliens I created. But no, Brayton definitely was a member of the Domian Empire, armored-skinned alien conquerors with a sense of finesse and honor for the most part.
I sure was.
Yes.
And they weren't always. Did I make the change in making them silver instead of gold?
No, the majority of Damians are silver because they're basically sort of like a European take on the Gavanas, the silver-skinned samurai invaders from Message from Space. Blah,
Of
blah, blah,
course.
techno crap.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yes, and Message from Space is a big favorite of mine. So the Damians are sort of a play on that, along with like a lot of like evil space Europeans or British noblemen you see in science fiction, whether it's Star Wars or Gundam or stuff of that nature. It's like, yeah, the Damians have a dress sense very similar to many a Gundam villains. Gundam, of course, being a anime franchise we don't talk about. So, but yeah, no, I think I did a design of Kano Branzent. It was okay, and originally the idea was I was going to give him golden skin, just to make him a little different and stand out. But you decided to do silver because you didn't want him to be too much of a fancy pants.
Well, no, I didn't want him to not stand out and look too much like Adam Warlock. I wanted him to be a little more
Yeah, that's
original and not being able to confuse. So my design here, basically a takeoff of what you did, though I did away with the lines on the face and try to make that a little more less busy, just for my own sake. And gave him a cape, a giant, what do you call those? Collared capes. So that's Connor Branson there. Fabulous head of hair and a smug expression on his face.
Yeah, no, you did a really good job here. So, and what's great is that in addition to doing like really good, cartoons based on existing people or characters, I should say. It's
Caricatures.
Like, yeah, was this based on anything in particular? You just like, you went with it.
Kind of, well, I kind of imagined who would play Connor Branson in a movie, and I kind of, the cheekbones and the bone structure off of Doug Jones. I imagine that Doug Jones would play a great Connor Branson. I don't know, just and be really weird with it. Famously, Doug Jones, the suit actor who is in many a Fishmen, and I do mean in the Fishmen. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of that. I kind of dabble into styles of drawing. I have one mode or the other. One where I spend way too much time on a certain thing, and it turns out kind of realistic, but a lot more if the person in question was featured on Archer or something. I really like that sort of retro comic book realism art style. And there's this where it's I don't know what this is inspired by. Just I don't know. I like the feel and vibe of like classic animated shows before everything got very round and gigantic eyes, and because now there's that huge Cartoon Network gumball type of animation, which I don't care for at all. I kind of like the more anatomically proportionally correct animated style you'd see in the 80s or something. So my other sort of mode is sort of based on that, or like Venture Brothers has a great art style where it's a little more human looking than just giant head on stout body.
Yeah. No,
So
I think the Venture Brothers has a really good sense of character design in that series. So
yeah, I would say that it's some people would say it's a style. I think I'm just very limited, and I also don't really want to. I don't know. I'm so self-conscious about what I'm not good at with drawing anyway that I find if someone starts identifying my style, that I'm really in trouble because it's all of my weaknesses, hung out to dry for people then.
yeah, well, it's okay to admit that because when I started drawing, after I got over my 10-year-long stick figure phase as a child, Not counting dinosaurs. Those were the only things I could draw that were not stick figures. But
Well,
yeah,
you saw my figures when I was a child.
yeah.
That was
Do we
pretty
dare bring
fabulous.
one of those up or no?
Oh, man, that's a whole other night, I think.
Okay, yeah, we'll save that for another night. That can even be like its great little short video too. It's like,
Yeah, I think just a stream of airing our childhood laundry would be good.
I'm gonna have to dig through some boxes and find some of my old stupid
Yeah.
artwork. So
Yeah, that'll be a night for that.
yeah, that or you do a motion comic of the truth of Darth X. That'd be great.
Oh, okay, even better. Yeah, and I'll voice it too.
Yeah, so I am your father. No.
Oh no!
I am your father.
Oh no!
I'm
Your
your
sister's Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Oh no!
That's the whole comic, folks.
That's it.
Yeah. But no, when I started out actually trying to do a real style and real characters, I would copy cartoon styles. And ultimately, when I discovered anime in the early 80s, no, not the early 80s, in the early 90s, thanks to Blockbuster video rentals, and yeah, I hit the hard stuff bad because, anime from the 80s was not meant for kids.
But you threw away your heroin spoon eventually.
Yes. I love Sailor Moon. Why am I eating heroin while I'm watching kids anime?
Why are you eating heroin?
I don't know. This is how we take it, right? Put it in my ear. Okay.
Yeah, but I was always just self-conscious because I was put in advanced art classes and courses in school and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always so much more aware of how much better everybody else was at the simple putting pen on pencil or putting pen on paper or painting. I still can't paint worth a shit. So I always just sort of stuck to my lane on that front out of embarrassment with sculpture and, putting videos together and all of that and photo collage. I could always do that well.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, the sort of polite and respectful encouragement that you and many of my other online friends have given me have really brought me out of my shell to the point where I've gifted special people in my life drawings and things, and they've been very appreciative. It's so I'm not at a pro level at all with any of this, but it is a great way to pass the time and a lot of fun. My biggest weakness I still think I have though is not being able to get things perfectly level. Because I don't want to draw all of the complicated lines and grid lines and everything, though I know why people do them, just because I'm lazy and I don't want to erase,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. The human faces aren't symmetrical all the time, and Conor Branson looks okay. He's an alien, so he can be a little off.
Yes, and I do like the kind of Random G Fan 19 says your audio keeps dipping. Oh, damn it.
Oh, whose audio?
Is it my audio?
Is it the one with the nasal voice or the one with the deeper but also nasal voice?
Oh, darn. Okay. Maybe I should record this as a backup just in case. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Night Owl. We're going to start from the beginning. No! Oh, man. All right, then we'll see what happens.
The blowing into the mic doesn't help, Raph. What are you doing there?
I don't know what I'm doing. So, yeah, maybe if I close a couple of windows or something, that might help. All right, I'll just occasionally look at the stream.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So, that might actually.
I can open it up. I have a cellular device here. I can open up the
Okay. Then Brayton will be on top of questions and comments, if any, and we will just go ahead and talk about artwork. And I also turned off the TV. I don't need to monitor it, so maybe less things to monitor, the better here. Okay, but no, I was going to say the Conor Branson face. I love the idea that you did base this on a thinner actor, but it also kind of gives it that kind of swarmy villain look that you find in a lot of 80s anime character designs. Like, this guy literally looks like one of the lesser villains from the first Gundam series.
Well, and again, I wanted to accentuate the hair. The hair had to be a lot bigger, so by proxy, the face gets shrunken down because it's just overwhelmed by this beautiful, beautiful mane, which I don't know if we've decided if it's a wig or not, because I know we had that idea in the past that Connor Branson had a library of wigs that he would cycle through on many occasions.
Now, is it because he's bald or he just has bad hair?
You know what? I think I don't want to say that he's bald. He probably just has severely thinning hair, or that it's just incapable of growing to the fabulous length that he would so desire.
Yes, yes, and I also like I know this is probably going to be more than one, but I do like this kind of triangular circle thing you got going on here.
Oh, well, that's just, I looked at a lot of, and I sent you a long while back a lot of Pinterest aristocratic, like royal military type guard outfits, and so he's got those little shoulder epaulets or epaulets, whatever they're called. But yeah, simple guy.
Yeah, I just know them as shoulder mops.
Yes, so they look like toothbrushes, kind of toothbrush bristles on your shoulders.
Indeed. So okay, so I think that's all that needs to be said about this illustration. So we'll be closing him up and moving on to the next one.
Get out of here, you bum.
All right, so Brayton, more so than an artist, he is a better prop maker and a sculptor.
Which is also an art.
Yeah, a lot of things are artwork, yes. Almost everything that humanity does is some form of art. But yeah, so we still want to do more episodes of the Mystery Science Theater fan films. We've just been kind of busy or distracted with other things.
Or more excursions with the Crimson Weirdo, in which this will also come into play.
That's true.
As an exterior for his lair.
Yes. We did talk about maybe just doing like little short bits with the Crimson Weirdo, especially after Brayton... And after I uploaded and Brayton discovered Grandpa's sci-fi hits.
Flash! Oh, God. There's a guy whose live stream's going much worse than this one.
Yes, because he's dead.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
An undead stream.
Igor, I don't know why I'm not getting views. Also, why am I in a box?
Why are all these Russian sex bots on here, Igor? I don't know, Grandpa.
Oh no, there's a monster outside the coffin. You'd be impressed if you could see it too.
I want to believe you found that like in a storm drain in an unmarked VHS tape.
Oh my God, yeah. So it's on my YouTube channel. Like the actor who played Grandpa Monster, Al Lewis, I believe.
Al Lewis.
Yes, he basically hosted a bunch of film trailers, and you can find the special everywhere. But I posted my copy here on YouTube. And it's so cheesy and embarrassing, but I grew up and watched this hour-long abomination all the time. But yeah, we want to do something like that with the Crimson Weirdo. But in the Mystery Science Theater fan films that we've done, featuring a certain flying turtle that breathes fire and throws ninja stars.
His name is Mark.
The joke is that the Crimson Weirdo, who is a wizard, a comical wizard character played by me and loosely based on me, mostly based on me.
We'll get to sketches later.
Yes. He lives in a house. He lives in a house owned by Aunt MacGuffin, along with his roommate Mark, who is just basically our friend Mark.
Well, some say that the house is Aunt MacGuffin.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing. Originally, I thought Aunt MacGuffin would just be this terrifying presence just off screen. But then you came up with the idea of what if Aunt MacGuffin is the house, and it just makes. And I was thinking, and I love that idea because it reminded me of like the bizarre talking houses from like H.R. Puff and stuff, and it's like, why not? So
yeah. So here's Aunt MacGuffin and all of her cyclopic glory.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and it's like she's going to play a bigger role in the next production we do, which will hopefully be done before the end of the year. But yeah, no, there's the original sketch Brayton did of Aunt MacGuffin's house, and you can see it was pretty much a one-for-one creation. I helped with the eyeball, though. That's pretty much my graphic there. But Brayton, how did you make this? Because there's
cereal boxes.
Yeah.
Well, I think two or maybe just one cereal box was used to design this, and I was scared as shit when making this because at every single... It's one of those things that I was scared to even start on because I made the three little boards at the front that sort of encompass the front of the house. I glued those together and I was like, wow, that turned out okay. I don't want to go any further because I'll fuck it all up. And then I cut the windows, and one thing just sort of built onto the next. And what I was really worried about was the roof coming together.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a lot of videos online of people who build, witch houses and huts and like fantasy elf houses and things all out of cardboard. And I kind of got from that, the basic sort of geometry of how you have to glue it to make the roof sort of point up how you want it to. And it was one of those things where the further and further I got into it, and the more hot glue I burned myself with and scorched my fingers with, it actually started to turn out pretty okay. I am shocked how close, because the evidence is there online on my Facebook. I did not just sketch this drawing up after I built the house and I'll be like, aha, I'll make people believe that it looks like my sketch art.
Yeah,
No,
take it, suckers.
it legitimately, I'm pretty damn happy with it. Like, if someone hired me to build this thing, I think I'd pass with flying colors. There are add-ons that will go to make up a yard that this will sit in.
Mm-hmm.
So I've built like a little crooked gate, again out of cardboard, that will go around the house, and there's like a little sort of staff with a giant skull on it to pay tribute to the Crimson Weirdo that will go off to the side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
But as it stands, this is at MacGuffin. We'll put lights inside the windows and like a little clear wrapping thing to shine it through for the windows. But yeah, no, it's very small, very light, kind of fragile, but it's held up well so far. So that is that's the final design. And the eye will blink when we animate it.
Yes. No, that's another reason why I did the eyeball. You asked me to do the eyeball as a graphic too, so
yeah. I had the idea for the Cyclops eye because this is just supposed to look, your German expressionism sort of creepy houses is what this is based off of, and the eye just comes from, the sort of Baba Yaga idea that we had for this being a living monster house.
Yes, a living monster house. So, and I think a Gigan fan in the audience called it Monster House when he saw it. But no, you're really good at this prop making stuff, and there's some really good props that we're not going to be showing tonight, but I've seen privately, and hopefully we'll be able to show them off sometime later this year for sure.
You've seen my private props?
Yes, Brayton. I was there in the window. That window, right?
Phantom denim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm tempted to bring up Phantom.
You got a monster house there.
Yeah. But no, the idea that you were able to do this, while it's like my attempts to try to do model buildings. Okay, I'm trying to do a very basic model building with just like windows that's just going to be like pure black, and you just, it's just there for an outline, basically. And that took me way longer than I wanted it to. In other words, I gave up halfway and threw it across the room. How long did this take you?
Well, like I said, because I let the sort of front sort of piece of it sit for quite a few days. I wrote on my thing here how long it took in full. Here, hold on. Let me go back through my archives and find when I originally posted this.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I would suggest, just for anybody who wants to do this for whatever reason, cereal box cardboard is the way to go, because it's my problem with building things out of cardboard is that your usual box cardboard is so it's got stuff that peels off, like if you paint it or try to glue it. It's just not a stable material. But this stuff is sturdy. It's it's very thin and light, so you can sort of mold it to your desire. And it proved me well. And let me see here. Where the frick would it be? Mobile uploads, I guess. Hold on. I'm going back through my own thing. Say hello to your audience. I think Shay's here.
Really? Okay. Yeah, Shay, one of our best fans on the show, he says, well, hello there. This is a nice surprise. Hello, Shay. Welcome aboard. And we also have Random G Fan 19. He's in the house, so it's nice to have a new face. Yeah.
Hi.
Yes. Yes. Hello. So yeah, no, we were supposed to have a big stream on damn it, not 4th of July. April Fools. I don't know why I'm thinking of patriotic stuff all of a sudden. Maybe I'm terrified of the red, white, and blue for obvious reasons. So they took away my learning visa. Anyways, joke aside. But yeah, no, we were supposed to do this last week, and unfortunately, the Californian extreme winds, not winds, kind of destroyed my internet. So unfortunately, it had to be canceled. So, but no,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, we'll see more faces tonight, and of course, a big hello to anybody watching this after the fact, because we do usually have a uptake on views and comments usually after the stream has been kind of settled down and ready to view. All right.
Yeah, but just for clarification, I got this done in 4 days. This took me 4
Wow.
days of on and off little work,
Nice.
But yeah, a lot of it just comes, and that sort of little slimy part around the roof is just crumpled tinfoil painted. But it really is the paint job that makes it pop,
Yeah, what paint did you use on it? Because I've tried using spray paint, and it just flakes after a while.
That's it. Just I covered it. I painted it first in Mod Podge, which is
Mhm.
I recommend on using anything that you're going to paint because it helps. It creates like a hard surface coating on whatever you're painting, so that the paint will stick to it and not run.
Mhm.
And if it's you're painting something like styrofoam, for example, that will melt, the aerosol can and spray paint will melt it. You definitely want to have Mod Podge.
Okay.
But the actual paint is just Walmart brand Rust-Oleum paint.
Mhm. Okay. All right. I got to remember that. Well, I will remember that thanks to the stream. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm trying to do props myself, and I must be using something other than hodgepodge, because the paint's not exactly sticking to it, and no matter how many layers and coats I put onto it, it always de-shines and defines. I don't
Yeah,
know what I'm saying.
Mod Podge you can get at your local arts and crafts store. It is basically just really, really thick glue.
Mm-hmm.
And I've still got a big tub of it that I have for my future projects. And yeah, it's a lifesaver. I will
Yes.
say that. So I can point you in the right direction.
Okay, then yeah, I'll double check whatever the big bucket I got. But then again, my bucket's so old that the chemical probably doesn't exist anymore.
You've got an old bucket.
Yeah. From a 1960s 99-cent store. What the heck? Okay, so we got a lot of images to go through, so I'm not going to speed it up, and I'm not going to dwell on it either. So,
All right.
all right. So say goodbye to Aunt MacGuffin.
Be gone,
Uh-oh.
MacGuffin.
Yeah, who's this?
And without a further ado, who would be living inside Aunt MacGuffin besides the Crimson Weirdo? So here he is, my proud achievement of an actual kind of badass Crimson Weirdo drawing, beckoning you to his all of his desires. I can't, as something I will admit as another flaw for myself, I cannot. I've tried many a times. I can't get the swirly eyes right. Maybe I should just, and I suck at drawing straight circles anyway, so I left those blank,
Mm-hmm.
but it kind of creates an okay kind of reflection look to it. And he's got his little skull there. This is sort of the more casual Crimson Weirdo outfit that we will be going with in the future, where it's just a new robe on top of a black shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But are you happy with this, Raph? Look how awesome he is.
Yes, he is, and look, he's shooting laser eyes because the internet's so slow. I can't do the circles well.
There you go. I would think that the laser eyes would come out of the staff.
Yeah, no, they definitely would. He has hypnotizing eyes, so
That's
yes,
true.
yeah, unfortunately, yeah, the computer's not moving as fast as I wanted it to. But no, this is surprisingly good. So much so that if I was to illustrate it, I would love to try to give it a little extra work and try to make it look like an album cover, like the Crimson Weirdo returns.
Weirdos, metal anthems.
A red bat shit crazy man out of hell.
And then Mark would be on the cover like the Led Zeppelin guy with big angel Pegasus wings
Yeah.
floating down.
And it's just regular Mark, but he's like doing the pose and everything. So,
Yeah. Ugh.
hey man, I'm an angel. Cool. Yes, but no, I'm very impressed by this. And I love how you actually did, because the Crimson Weirdo is supposed to be a comical character. He's this like terrible horror show host / actual warlock played by me. I think I just created a character by wrapping a red blanket around me and some paper eyes.
Your greatest character.
Yes, he is unfortunately the most beloved character I've done, and the one that I actually feel comfortable playing most of the time. Although I do get a kind of sick, twisted pleasure when I play Detective Dream.
Oh, I get a sick, twisted pleasure when the silk of the robe rubs against my body.
But yeah, no, this is right now I'm focusing on 2 other major illustrations. I'm going to be inking something for our friend Patrick Galvin, and I also got a monster commission I need to do this month. But yeah,
I'll just be inking Patrick Galvin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a sick, twisted pleasure inking at Patrick Galvin. Patrick is a mutual friend of ours. But yeah, no, this is so cool that I definitely do want to illustrate this and like do different versions where he's like shooting, like maybe he's like 200 feet tall over the city and shooting lasers from his hands or something. Because yeah, that's perfect there. It's
exactly right, like the King Kong poster where he's like standing atop the skyline and the lightning's blasting down. I imagine that for you here.
That would be great. So I know it's like and there's maybe like put little Fay Ray just hanging on my shoulder there. It's like, what's going on?
And then put Dr. Sue on a hovercraft with a chainsaw.
So okay, so all right.
There you have it.
Yes. Okay, so very happy with this. All right, Crimson Weirdo will be saying goodbye now. And speaking of the
he won't, because he's on the move again.
And he has a spaceship. Oh no.
Oh my, I wish I have it somewhere, your original concept art for this too, which I tried to imitate close as I can. And this turned out really well as well.
Yeah. Well, okay. So the thing is, one of the jokes of some future project we're going to do is the Crimson Weirdo has his own spaceship, and it's loosely based on my face. And the great thing about
not vain at all.
Yeah, not vain at all. But the funny thing is, oh, by the way, the Random G fan, he said about the last picture, that's not fan art of the Crimson Weirdo. It's a eyewitness account of the Crimson Weirdo being a cryptid from LA. Okay, so
yes,
yeah, because
exactly right.
Yeah, it does. That last picture could almost serve like lost tapes, Crimson Weirdo. Yes.
Do I walk among you?
It's like a really terrible CGI Crimson Weirdo that just walks past the camera every once in a while. All right, but
exactly
no
jokes. Right. But there's Crimson Weirdo experts that are there.
Yes, exactly. So, and it'll just be Mark with different bow ties, pretending to be different people.
What? I'm Asian now?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a woman.
You give him the glasses. Oh, no.
Yeah, no, it's
Fireman. That's not all. Gay man.
20th century painter. Roman.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So, but yeah, no, the great thing is I did a basic bitmap picture of the Crimson Weirdo spaceship. And I remember, I don't know if I told you this or it was something, but one thing I remember, a really good bit of advice was from the Kyoto brothers, the people who did Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which I might be doing a Twitch stream later this week. And they didn't say this to me directly, but they said it in the audio commentary for Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Just because you have amazing concept art doesn't mean that when you make it physically real, you don't have to have it one for one. Just get something close to it. And I think Brayton did a really good job translating what I did on the original bitmap picture, which unfortunately I don't think is readily available right now.
I do have it. I just wish I attached it to the photo so people could see.
Oh yeah.
But I can look for it again really quick. But no, this is literally, I don't know if I should give away what the pieces that encompass it are, because it's kind of kit bashed. And if I tell people what it is, then that's all they're going to see. Do you think I should tell them?
Go ahead.
Do you think I should give It's a giant minion like Easter basket thing with another top on it to give it a rounded head.
Mm-hmm.
So the minion goggles are the Crimson Weirdo's goggle in this case. And I glue a giant, very simple paper beard on it, a very slapdash, toothy grin. Mm-hmm. But I felt like, the sort of more slapdash and cheaper it looked, the funnier it would be.
Yeah.
So right now, though, it kind of has like a cutesy sort of Studio Ghibli, type of flying automobile type of thing. It's part spaceship looking, but it also kind of looks like sort of the mid-century design, or like mid 18th century or whatever designs for aircrafts and things.
Mm-hmm. And also, it is a well-known fact, I really hate anthropomorphic pig pilots. So,
oh boy, you're gonna hate when Mark's behind the wheel.
Brighton.
What?
Happy,
Hey, I'm just
happy birthday to Mark, by the way.
I'm bacon, man. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh, maybe we should do that for instead of the Killer Clowns double feature this coming Thursday. Have Mark's birthday kaiju marathon and just find a bunch of kaiju episodes that share his birthday with him.
Oh my lord. Okay, here I'm gonna send you this picture here that we did.
Okay, yeah. Let me go ahead and use another window.
Messenger. Oh, I should have sent my doors. I should have put my doors on here too. Oh well, that's for another day.
Mm-hmm. And you're sending it through Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just download it through there. All right, I'm ready to receive. Yes.
Well, aren't you?
Yeah, hold on.
I've heard the rumors.
Oh no. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, it's become one of those shows.
Goji say that yes, the elusive Crimson Weirdo. It's said they live in rundown shacks with lots of cats and can be lured with Reese's Pieces.
That is sadly true. I do like Reese's Pieces. So, wait. I prefer the M&M's version of Reese's Pieces. I don't really like those terrible peanut butter cakes they got.
Hey, I'll take whatever, man. Thank you, Mark.
Yes, Mark. So yeah, no, we should have contacted Mark ahead of time. So, but yeah, he works the night, and so this is roughly his original sketch mixed with my very basic bitmap thing going on here.
Yeah.
So,
but if you switch back and forth, that's kind of what we got
mm-hmm.
in the final design. I'm quite happy with it. We got
Mm-hmm.
little rockets on the side there, which I just used straws for. Yeah, and so that's your flying automobile that you can take and battle people in the stars.
Yeah, and also I can introduce really terrible giant monster trailers too. So, Mark,
right.
What do you think? I think it's great, Raph.
Flash.
Okay, but another really good prop from Brayton. So, no, we don't want to share the killer gorillas just yet. Okay, and you see a little bit of Brayton's Mystery Science Theater set back there too. So
hidden in the back.
Yes. All right, so we're gonna move in. We're gonna move on from.
You can see all the spray paint though on that table.
Yeah, that is just a quick question. The beard and the teeth. Is this more cardboard from a cereal box or a poster board?
What is it? Yeah, the beard is card. Yes. Okay. I couldn't remember if they were paper or not, but no, it is cardboard from cereal boxes or card stock, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Chipboard, some people call it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I gotta start using this stuff as opposed to actual cardboard. So.
I'll link you to some more. I've shared with you before some of the YouTubers that I follow who do build things out of this material.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send them again because I started a playlist of special effects prop tips, but I don't remember any of the ones you recommended.
The difficult part, like I said at the beginning, anybody who wants to do this for whatever reason, the difficult part is starting because you're so overwhelmed, or the second most difficult part is continuing. But I promise you, once you get a roll and you're in the groove of it, it will turn out all okay. Just have a positive attitude, no matter how dark and despair you are. And the spiral eyes there, I just photoshopped on.
Oh yeah. It's like we have the pattern, so you can easily print that out and like put it back. Yeah, put it on later. So, but they are not easy patterns to deal with. That is for damn sure. So, okay, so we'll be saying goodbye to the Crimson Weirdo spaceship. Okay, so this is some extra fill art. Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. Extra filler art for the kaiju book I'm working on, the Pachishoma one. And this character, thankfully, was recommended to be called Funajira by Brayton. It's a play on Gojira, Godzilla's original Japanese name, and the Funa Yuri, which are a race of drowned ghosts who wear these weird little headbands with the triangles on them. So it's sort of a combination of the two. It's a bunch of Funa Yuri who've merged together, become this giant Godzilla-like super ghost monster from the sea. And unlike Shin Godzilla with the laser beam, I thought I'd kind of poke fun by making it a concentrated stream of ghostly water. But yeah, he does look like he's vomiting. But no, the great thing about this character is because he's a ghost, I get to kind of play around with the different layers and give him this transparency. And while it is kind of a pain of the ass, instead pain in the butt, instead of just
I like pain of the ass.
pain of the ass, a crink in the
Sounds like
nose.
a Edgar Allan Poe story.
On a midnight dreary, a pain in my ass, formed all weary. But
In my reary.
yeah, but it is kind of a pain in the ass to kind of just not do a regular illustration with just the black lines and get everything just right. But thankfully, this one came out pretty well. And
Yeah.
I don't mind using real life photographs of clouds for background filler, especially when I take it off my own cell phone. So,
Oh, that's the real life part of this?
yes.
Oh, I thought the other part was the photograph him.
Oh yeah, that I actually took a picture of a gigantic 200-foot long ghost demon monster. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
It's a problem out there.
Yes, indeed. So, but yeah, this is a character that I think I may revisit outside of the Pachishoma book with a better design. But he is basically a ripoff of a Shin Godzilla minus the brand new ghost head, as you can tell by his somewhat familiar looking neck here. So,
It's like a rhinoceros skeletal Ben Franklin.
yeah. Who wants to watch me rock out on my harpsichord made of glass? Early to bed, early to rise.
Yeah.
Don't destroy daylight saving times. It's going to be like 4 years from now. We're all going to be like, oh, we got to get to work at midnight. Time to go to school, kids. It's going to be that
I don't know
ridiculous.
what people think they're saving.
Yeah, exactly. So I just think it's just popular opinion against basic scientific fact. So, all right. So goodbye, Funajira. Now, okay, we're going back to Brayton unless you want me to go to another illustration of mine.
No, just go down the line.
Okay. Oh, it's
Yo, here we go for our big follow-up to a certain video that was posted on your channel.
yes. So just as context, mostly me, but also Brayton, we're big fans of character actor and television personality of the 1950s and 60s, Hans Conried.
Hans Conried.
Hans Conried, yes. He is.
Let me see your fingers, boy.
Yes. That Peter Pan, he's out it again. Yes, he's better known as the voice actor who played Captain Hook in Disney's animated version of Peter Pan. But he was
And
also,
the live-action actor that they used to model as Captain, because that's how they did that, was they basically referenced him, his performance.
Yeah, unfortunately, only photographs survive. I would have loved to
Yeah.
have seen actual live footage of it.
That'd be great.
But no, we really like the guy. We enjoy some of his movies. I have 2 of his full movies posted on YouTube, thankfully, and they're more or less in the public domain, so I have no copyright issues. One is The Twonky, and the other one is The Siren of Baghdad, which is a pretty decent little fantasy comedy for what it is. But yeah,
But man, do they bring the viewers in.
yes. Oh yeah, definitely. I think I hate to say it, the Twonky helped save my channel, so to speak.
Oh, God.
People really love the Twonky, and I think I'm the only one with an uncut, good-looking version of it. Granted, though, okay, just a quick aside, there are 2 versions of the Twonky I posted on my YouTube channel. One I thought was a good idea to try to make like a faux HD version, but I did it so haphazardly with OBS that it doesn't look so good. And that one has the most comments and likes and views. And recently I decided just to upload the original file from my old DVD recorder. And that one only has 100 views, 100,000 views compared to the 6 million views of the other one.
I honestly think the way to get this live stream more views is to retitle it Uncut Twonky. And just make people curious.
Oh, indeed. Maybe we'll do an audio commentary of the Twonky or something to anybody who wants us. I like that movie, but I know it's kind of a hard sell for a lot of other people. Cough.
All right.
See? And yeah, but no, we're fans of Hans Connery. We like a lot of his work. And a long time ago, I had a friend named Jesse who wanted, he's still a friend of mine, but I haven't talked to him in a while. He wanted to do a novel where it was basically a giant robot versus kaiju story, but one that took place in 1950s America. And we briefly thought about trying to turn into a comic book. And one of the big gags was that all the human characters were going to be based on celebrities or actors from various B movies, with Hans Conried playing a character named Freddie Quinn, who's sort of a retired scientist slash biologist, who kind of helps our heroes figure out what the hell is going on with this invasion of giant monsters. So yeah, this is, and we did a video where I shared some pictures, sketches I did of, of Hans Conried with Brayton.
And let me tell you, ah,
Yes, like I think both Brayton and Jesse independently came up with the same quote. He's looking into my eyes, this terrifying sketch.
yeah, it was pretty disturbing.
Yes, but no, what Brayton did is a much better take on Hans Conried than anything I could do. So, but yeah,
He's a very expressive guy, and I did 2 passes at it. I really found, oddly enough, it's all in the nose and the hair where his likeness comes into play. Because if you draw him with too short of hair, my original drawing just looked like an outraged Gene Siskel or something. But this one, and when you got the beak in there, you really start to capture his likeness. And so this is sort of, I looked at a lot of pictures of younger Hans Conried, T. Williker era Hans Conried, and this is definitely more on the money in terms of his youthful spritiness. And see, there you go, there's some pictures there.
Yes, I'm going to bring up some pictures of Hans Conried coming up very soon if we can. What the heck, I'll just go with these
Yeah,
okay, but yeah, hold on. Damn mouse, does it have to capture everything I share?
that damn house of mouse where they've locked up my glorious performance as Captain Hook.
Yes, but yeah, this was
you go.
Yeah, this was a photo collage I did of Hans Conried as sort of a reference, and this is younger Hans Conried, roughly from 1953, the year that was supposed to make him a star on Hollywood, but unfortunately the 2 movies he showed up in were kind of flops: the 10,000 Fingers of Dr. T, and of course the Twonky. I think Siren of Baghdad came out a year later, so he did not have a great time. But yeah, no, as you can see, he's not a bad-looking gentleman, but he does have that kind of weird character actor face where it's almost like a humanoid cartoon buzzard. And
exactly. He's made, his face is structured like he's made for the cartoons.
Exactly, yeah. So a lot of great character actors from that time had that kind of look to him. So, and as you can see, happy Hans Conried, angry Hans Conried, indifferent Hans Conried.
Yeah, and mine was just sort of dynamically quizzical Hans Conried is the expression I went for.
Yeah, so, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, the 10,000 Fingers of Dr. T. Williker, the only live-action movie Dr. Seuss was ever involved in during his lifetime, I like it quite a bit, but I think it's a true cult classic in the sense that a lot of people think it's way too weird and dumb. It's like even the audio commentary for this movie, released recently through a company called Indicator, which is a really good UK company that's been doing a lot of fantastic region-free Blu-rays. Even a lot of the other extras where they talk to original cast members and general fans of the movie is really glowing. But then you get to the audio commentary and the 2 guys they have doing it are like, this movie's weird. Yeah, why did we get stuck with this job? But yeah, it's a movie that you either love or hate. I was introduced as a small kid, and I think it still holds up, but I think it's largely because of Hans Conried and some of the weird music numbers in it. But he basically plays a tyrannical piano teacher. And, of course, this little kid, Bart Colomuth, I forget his name, Bart. He's
Bart Collins.
Bart Collins, yeah. He's basically trying to stop his evil empire. And if you know Dr. Seuss, he really had something against tyrants and dictators. And Dr. T. Williker is just in a long line of it. But no, great.
Or maybe it's Bart Cubbins. I don't know. But yeah, it's a great actor, great face. And I know, Raph, I made it my mission because you had the 5-year struggle with drawing a proper Hans Conried. And I think this gets him down pretty well. Again, very quizzical. I try to incorporate his exaggerated. He's got great, like, furrowed, classically arched eyebrows, too. So really he is, as we kind of discussed I think we discussed in that first video, he seems like on paper like he'd be so easy to draw. But there are a few things you just have to get right for him to look like himself. So this is the version that I was happy with, as your character of Freddie Quinn with the turtleneck and simple lab coat in tow, and he's probably looking off to the corner hearing a monster in the distance.
Oh no!
Oh God, who cut one? Is what that expression tells you there.
Are they talking about me? They're not trying to draw me again. Oh no! Okay, now
Yeah,
I'm just
but
becoming...
pretty good likeness.
Yes,
I
yes.
think.
No, a great job. So, but yeah, Hans Conried is Freddie Quinn. So, okay,
Yeah.
before we move on to the next art, I'm going to read some quick comments from Goji Shea. Boom. Do. I'm trying to...
Wow,
Sure.
he's singing in the audience.
Right, yeah. So I'm just trying to find something. Oh, okay, so Goji Shea in reference to Funajira, it looks like he's puking blue glow stick liquid. You're not far off. Bigger Twonky means kaiju, anyone, says Random G fan. And I don't think there's a bigger Twonky fan than you, Raph. Well, yeah, unfortunately, I guess so.
You've eaten many.
Uh-huh. And Random G
You are Twonky the Kid.
Yes. I just have a television head and I'm just dancing with Twinkies. Yeah.
That sounds like paradise to me.
That would be like a weird cardboard cutout thing to make. So.
Yeah.
Okay. And random G fan, he says there's an obscure role that Hans Conried, he played the leading troll in The Trolls and the Christmas Express from 1980. Lesser known animated movie. It has good animation, but the story's kind of stupid. So basically, a bunch of trolls try to ruin Santa's Christmas, and somehow it involves a train at the end. So,
Oh my lord, how convoluted.
yeah, very convoluted, like many Christmas specials that we have forgotten. So, oh yeah, and also if you're the original animated Hobbit, he played Orin Oakenshield. So
That's right.
yes. So yeah, Hans,
I need to draw him in all of his animated characters, like in the costumes of those characters.
Oh yeah, kind
You're
of.
putting a dress on me.
Yeah. Why would you do that, boy? All right, so Hans Conried is out of the building. Good night, folks.
Very well.
Okay, so for the record, Brayden gives me a okay. So this
is the original watermark there?
No, it's the improved one. So
Okay.
yeah, okay. We'll have a funny joke in a moment.
Of course,
about
you
this.
put your name first.
Yeah.
But okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Hootie the Night Owl is a character that we kind of just kind of created as sort of an improv joke on one of our Night Owling streams. You know, it's like, ooh, I'm so
Yes. The episode in question is bad idea, good episode, or something to that extent. is Hootie's first appearance, and then incorporated in the theme song a few episodes after that.
Yes.
So Hootie the Hoot Owl is who you hear hooting in our introduction, and this is him. He is our biggest fan, not named Shay, and unfortunately he doesn't have working appendages that he can type coherent comments. So he just sits on his branch, chill as a dill pickle, listening to our show on his big, lovely headphones, with his eyes bloodshot, desperately sleep deprived.
Yes, and I will admit this. I don't know if you remember this, Brayton, but when you made the joke about the owl and started doing the voice, and I said, it's Hootie the Night Owl. It's a Hootie. It reminds me... Hootie.
And the Blowfish.
Yes, Hootie and the Blowfish. No, it reminds me of like one of the English dubbed versions of Gotcha Man, Japanese superheroes from the 70s who look like, Batman in Eagle Ninja outfits. They renamed one of the characters in one of the versions called G-Force as Hootie the Hoot Owl. So yeah, I kind of ripped that name off with this character, but I think it works a lot better here.
Gotcha Man is what I used to call Geraldo.
Aw.
Yeah.
And that's what he wanted to be called when he thought there was something in the safe.
That's true.
By the way, I found the buzzard machine. Do I dare?
Nah.
Okay.
We'll let it go.
Yes. Yeah, we got a lot of images to share. Actually, no, we're kind of doing okay tonight. But yeah, so what happened was I took Brayton's original sketch, which was very fun, very simplistic, very appealing. I don't know if you did the tree or I had to do the tree. But
I had the tree. I did the tree. I just had him on the tree. I had him, the tree, and like a very, very poorly drawn moon.
Yeah, and I just took a photo of a moon I took a long time ago and just just reincorporated it here with a bit of a fuzz. Artwork is
Yeah.
hard, so I don't feel so bad
And
about
you can see, if you look behind this screen here, you can see the final version, which is essentially this, but a little more, simplified.
Exactly. But this was a fun little standalone illustration of the character, one that I need to upload onto my DeviantArt this week. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, and I kind of love the little glowing, poor little guy with the eyes.
Poor little guy with the eyes. Are you gonna write him in a giant character bio where he's a alias to where he's got alliances in your grand Budapest Empire or whatever you have?
No, I think he's just
It's
a
not
night
gonna be
owl.
tied into the Glue universe.
Yeah,
He's just a fucking owl.
Yeah, he's just a fucking owl.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And
children.
inspiration, if there was any inspiration that needed to be talked about, it's just the sort of my version of the what is it? The Tootsie Pop owl kind of.
Oh yeah, so owls are so interesting. They're so bizarre and scary, even by bird standards. And birds are pretty chaotic little nightmare. They're not nightmare demons. They're just little chaos agents when you really think about it.
But he is a bird of prey.
Yeah, he is. So with that says, now thinking about it, if you went back in time, the age of the dinosaurs must have been ridiculously silly. It's like a Tyrannosaurus chasing after you, and at the same time it's quacking.
Yeah, and then Whoopi Goldberg is there for some reason.
Oh yeah, and the dinosaur is just like insane for cookies, and like what other dinosaur cliches?
You're gonna get diabetes.
Is what she keeps
Yes,
saying, but he
yes,
doesn't
and
listen.
then the brontosaur just keeps screaming, "The plane, the plane!"
There's a disco plesiosaur.
Yeah, there's the disco plesiosaur. Oh my god! Now, actually, plesiosaurs were sea reptiles, so they were probably calm and vicious like Komodo dragons compared to the dinosaurs that were more bird-like, who were probably doing weird dances while like cutting each other open with horns and whatnot.
We'll never know.
So yeah, thank God owls evolved to be less stupid compared to the rest of their avian friends, or cousins, I should say. But yeah. Okay, so we're going to be saying goodbye to Hootie the Night Owl. Let me double check the comments very quickly, because like I said, I'm actually closing down this stream, damn it. No. It's, the less windows I have open, the smoother the stream will go. So, okay, so Hootie the Night Owl, very happy with the way this came out, and I'm really happy with the title cards we're currently using. The screen cards, I should say, for tonight's stream, and which will be basically permanent from now on. So say goodbye to the dark blue forest of Inshoma's soul.
Now it's slightly purple.
Yeah, it's slightly purple. It might come back in the future if I can do some improved versions of it, just for certain Night Owling episodes. But yeah, Hootie is here to stay. So thank you, Brayton.
You mean Night Owlings where you're salty and pissed off at me and you want to use your own artwork?
I'm not in the mood to have guests tonight. An hour later, please save me, Brayton. Anybody come aboard. Okay, so our friend Patrick Galvin, he wrote a really good novel.
Wow, our friend Patrick Galvin. Whoa.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, let me pick up that name. I'm so sorry for dropping it. Our friend.
No. I'm talking about this drawing. Is like, wow, look at Patrick.
Oh yeah, he's turned into a beautiful woman from 1930s Shanghai. No.
Yeah.
Okay, no, our friend and author Patrick Galvin, who is
podcast partner.
Yes, podcast partner for an upcoming project that Brayton is overseeing. Hopefully will be coming later this month.
Oh, I can send you our logo.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. Yeah. Send me the completed logo so I can share it here.
Okay.
But yeah, no. Patrick, sometime last year or the year before, he did a book based on Chinese silent film actress Ruan Lingyu. Did it?
Ruan Lingyu.
Yeah, Ruan Lingyu. Who had a pretty harrowing life, but made definitely impression in Chinese culture. And we recently saw her most famous movie, The Goddess, where she plays a streetwalker. That's a nice way of saying prostitute. Who is trying to...
Hooker. Hootie, you're gone. You're out of here.
Yeah, him and his obsession with hookers. Pretty lady, pretty woman. That movie's terrible. Get out of here, Moody. No. The Goddess is actually a really good movie because she plays a streetwalker who is with a child and she's trying to improve her life for both him and herself. And it's actually a very entertaining silent movie that is officially free on YouTube if you know where to look. But yeah, no, we'll be talking about the goddess in the future podcast. And for Patrick Alvin's book, he is going to be using artwork both from Brayton, which is his sketch right here, and from myself. Now, let me go ahead and bring up the dumb artwork I did. Okay, because, yeah, there's a big difference between... Okay, so
it's just a difference of styles.
I know, but look at this. Brayton's incredible character artwork actually captures more realistic proportions and the facial features of the actress Ryan Yinglu.
Yeah, and we should say too, Patrick didn't do a thing where he was like, okay, you both draw one and then we throw you in a pit and you fight to the death and whoever wins gets the best one. I just drew this because I'm drawing like doodles of, for fun, characters related to the movies that we'll be talking about. So this one was inspired by our viewing of The Goddess.
Yes.
And I'm happy to hear that Patrick likes it so much to include it alongside yours.
Yes, but mine... Like, I'm happy. This is an improved version of the one I had in the original book. But to be honest, it's a little too anime-ish.
Now it's fine.
I know.
Anime and Unky Ben.
Yes.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I know I'm supposed to be a professional cartoonist. Gigantic question marks, quotations, cartoonist.
Professional and cartoonist?
I'm a cartoon, all right, and that's my profession. But a ding. But anyway... But yeah, no, I know mine is a lot more cartoony and anime style. But yeah, I think this is a big improvement over the terrible colored sketch I had in the original book. And Patrick is very happy with the way this one came out. And I'm really happy I added some effects to her hair and she looks okay. But at the same time, yeah, this is... If you don't know who Ryan Ling Yu is, it's a hard name for me, I'm sorry, miss.
I'll say it, Ruan Ling Yu.
Yeah, Ruan Ling Yu. Brayton is definitely he captures her appearance a lot better, especially the nose that I could not do without it looking weird. So
she's got small soft features. She's a very soft looking woman with mournful eyes. I'm not happy with my mouth. So there we go. I'm critiquing my own.
I know, but that's the thing about artists. They're never happy with their works unless they're incredibly arrogant and they, think they're the bee's knees. Hot shit.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait till you get to my Raph and Shoma drawing later on, then we'll see.
Oh my God. So yes. But no, I honestly think yours is a lot better. And something that me and Brayton agreed on that Patrick was just recently reminded of, I'm going to be inking this and doing a much better version, which hopefully will surpass this one. But that means Patrick will have 2 pieces of Ryan Ling Yu artwork, fan art, in his book. So
you just can't get enough.
Yes. So, but no, I am happy with like the kind of very subtle purplish tint to this black and white picture. So, but yeah, there's some elements about it. I don't like it too much. I did my best not to go overboard with the body proportions, which is something I always do.
And that's why I only drew the head.
Yes. Oh my God. So, but yeah, and the idea is that I'm going to kind of copy a scene from The Goddess where it's sort of her giant superimposed head over the city. She's not a kaiju. Yeah. It's a metaphoric, symbolic scene. So, but yeah, I think this one's going to come out looking great, and this is basically the last thing to be done before he can do a second edition of Patrick's Ryan Ling Yu book. So, but yeah, there you go. Okay, so before we show off the next picture, because it's basically Brayton doing hate mail, let me bring up a reference of Miss Blue so we can at least compare and contrast.
Oh,
so, but yeah, check the comments for me, my friend.
Okay. The comments are rolling on in with Shay here saying Hootie looks like he's been subjected to the Clockwork Orange treatment. The Ludovico treatment, I believe is what it's called. And yes, being forced to listen to all of our episodes on loop probably would drive somebody insane. I mean, it's hard for me. I listen back to it and it's hard for me to get through 5 minutes. So 144 hours plus is
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some there are some really excellent episodes of Night Owling that we've done that I listen to usually just whenever I'm doing dishes or background work.
See, that seems like self-conceited though, because you were there. Why do you have to put white noise of yourself on in the background?
Well, first off, Conan Needs a Friend doesn't have full episodes on YouTube. Inside Conan doesn't have full episodes on YouTube, and my brother's Gabe's podcast Time Mule, which is very good, I have some episodes uploaded here, isn't completely uploaded onto YouTube, something I should get to pretty soon. But terrible jokes aside, yeah. Well, it's like, what is it? Sometimes we have like really good banter between guests. I know you and Laura usually fire on all cylinders, unless she's tired and, dealing with the baby. Lewis, he's fantastic unless he's tired and dealing with his baby. Yes, he gave birth to a baby, which is an incredible action for a man. And
Saint Louis, I believe.
Yes, and I'm never really happy with many of my live streams, especially when I have to sit on the egg and wait for my baby to hatch. So there you go. Brayton? Brayton, are you there? Brayton, can you hear me? Boom, 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 boom. Oh, did Brayton disappear?
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
hey, you're back.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I unplugged my microphone.
Oh.
No, I was bemoaning the fact that I am childless during all of that. I was going into a huge monologue about
Well, you can always steal my kid, and I'll pretend that I lost my kid.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so yeah, and Goji Shay says the disco plesiosaur goes around asking everyone if they got three. No, that's a dumb joke. Everyone, make a new plesiosaur joke. Oy, okay. Plesiosaurs deserve better. Okay, so some horrible context before we go on to the next horrible picture from Brayton. Where are you? Oh, he left. Okay. So say goodbye to Miss Blue. That's an explosion noise.
Good riddance.
Okay, so you take it away. I don't know how to describe this one.
Well, this is another one of your creations, so you should know. Raph created a secondary what-if villain character for the MST3K universe called Rocky Roadie in his original form, and I turned it into something far more fitting and spooky. Rocky Stone is his name now.
Okay, so I know what okay, so what happened was we were talking about one of the ideas we had with the Mystery Science Theater fan films. I don't think we're going to get this elaborate in the future, but we were thinking of at one point we should just do a whole series where they switch out a mad every time because the Crimson Weirdo explodes in space or something with Miss Blue.
But the Crimson Weirdo has turned out to be such a rich character that we don't want to explode him.
Yeah, but no, we were thinking what alternative ideas for different mads, aka the mad scientists in charge of everything. And I came up with the idea of a Rocky alien named Rocky Roadie, who was, I know originally the idea was the character was supposed to be very nonchalant and nearly deadpan, or droll, I should say, in his humor. But then Brayton really, my original design was a little too simplistic. I felt like I could do it easily with very basic paper mache masks and a lot of coke, not coke.
If I snort a mile, then I'll be right into character.
Delicious. I love eating.
Slide right in.
Yes. But no, Brayton kind of fell in love with the character, and he basically made him into a badass. So so go ahead and take it back, Brayton. Take it away.
Take it back. do 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 do. Take it back. Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is Rocky Stone, who we vision in our own little heads as being voiced or played by Clancy Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And we even I took it upon myself to write a character bio for him. So I'll just read through this quickly if anyone's curious. This is what you did a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Full name: Rocky Obsidian Stone. Nicknames and aliases: Rocky Roadie, The Mountain, The Galactic Gravedigger, Pebble, Sledge. Those are his nicknames.
Mm-hmm.
Age, about 40. Species, Petramorph, which is, I think you gave me that. I don't recall that. But homeworld, New Petra, which is specifically, he hails from Gravelmaw Station X117, which is like an apartment complex on the homeworld. Affiliation, his own damn self. Height, 6'10", weight 547 pounds, because rocks are heavy. Eyes, a smoldering orange. Hair, known relatives. I really got into your mode here with just the over
Oh yeah,
explanations.
you've written some incredible character bios that will be incorporated one way or another in the future. Wink, wink.
Granite Stone, who was the grandfather patriarch, Marble Stone, who was his aunt, aka the clever one, Rolling Stone, who was his cousin, the show off, and Ben Grimm are his known relatives. Okay, so Rocky Stone is the bounty hunter that other bounty hunters tell bounty hunter stories about. Born on an asteroid mining colony, his origins are as rough and mysterious as the celestial body he hails from. Legend has it that he emerged fully formed from a particularly stubborn chunk of space rock, cigar already lit, and knuckles itching for a fight. Now standing at an imposing 6 feet 10 tall and made entirely of unbreakable alien stone, Rocky is a walking, talking, cigar-chomping force of nature, with fists that can pierce a spaceship hull, a glare that could melt a neutron star, and a gravelly bass voice that sounds like he downs engine exhaust for breakfast. The mere mention of his name has been known to make even the most hardened criminals wet themselves. I like using that a lot. I use a similar thing for Captain Gorilla Hook. Bouncing between seedy spaceports and lawless frontiers, Rocky has become the go-to golem for impossible missions and lost causes. Despite his rough exterior and interior, being made of stone and all, he adheres to a strict code of honor. He never breaks a contract, always protects the innocent, and has been known to turn down jobs that conflict with his own shady principles. In a momentary change of heart or lapse in logic, Rocky spared the life of Brady Brimstone, a fast-talking, spine-lacking informant who became the occasional angel to his Rockford. Basically, he's a bounty hunter, and Brady Brimstone, yet to be drawn, is like his informant on the street, his little seedy like hustler guy that he goes to. But when not punching his way through Galaxy's Most Wanted list, Rocky can be seen cruising the cosmic lanes on his flame-powered space motorcycle, the Cosmic Hog. His signature ride won in a high-stakes poker game against a Venusian arms dealer. As a quaking personal touch, the sounds of Papa Was a Rolling Stone echo through the void. So, yeah, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but that's basically the gist of it all. He's a badass Clancy Brown talking bounty hunter. Kind of looks like something from, I don't know, you could see Hellboy kind of fighting this. I don't know.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of that one. I'm probably getting the character's name wrong, but Marv from Sin City, the big dude that they took multiple times to electrocute.
Yes, thank you for not saying Groot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, but no, Brayton really liked the character and rolled with it. And to be honest, you made a really awesome character out of my dumb idea. So
These are how things happen. They're the flukes and the follies that ultimately birth genius.
Yes, we'll be getting some.
That's how Silly Putty was made.
Yeah. Originally it was supposed to be assassin bomb clay for the Russians, but then the Americans screwed up, dropped it onto a newspaper, and it's like, oh, look at what we made. Let's make it a toy for the kiddies.
Initially, yes.
Okay, so, and Shay earlier talking about your take on Miss Blue. That's Miss Blue when she works as an LA cocktail waitress in her later years, and I bet she changed smoking by then too. All right.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And then Random G Fan, by the way, thank you for joining us this late, sir, says, or lady, says, or madam, or it, if you're one of those horrible creatures from space. Like, whatever. That was a terrible joke. It's like the lost cousin of the Thing, Ben Graham from the Fantastic Four.
Yes, they're relatives, jokingly.
Yes. And then Goji Shay says Rocky's face kind of looks like the mask from 1994. Okay. Oh,
the mask before he puts the mask on.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that until you pointed it out. So yeah, but there you go, and that's another character I would love to ink if I ever get extra time. So.
Yes,
Rocky Stone.
Yeah, and you picture him just, I wrote another quirk in there that he spends a lot of time at the Cheesecake Factory. But you basically picture him beating up poor Cheesecake Factory workers to the tunes of the song Papa was a Rolling Stone, and you have the idea.
What kind of cheesecake factories does he visit?
People who they cut him off after a while, like bartenders do after he eats so much cheesecake, and he doesn't like that.
Sir, you can't have any more cheesecake. That's the third one you've had this hour. We're going to have to ask you to pay the check and leave. I'm the Cheesecake Factory manager.
I think he would be at odds with the Cheese King of Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. Hey, Booba, how you doing? No more cheesecake for you, weirdo.
Yeah.
Should I bring up the Cheese King of Wisconsin if I have a picture of him?
If he's in your line. If not, then don't. No, because you did that before. You did that already.
Yeah, okay, then. Yeah, all right.
In
But
another
yeah,
stream.
we'll be saying goodbye to Rocky Roadie here, so.
Goodbye, friends.
Right. Okay, but now...
Oh, fuck you.
Right. Whatever. You and your little fantasy world. I would never do anything that stupid. So anyways, here's a giant squid
What the fuck is
monster.
that stupid piece? What is that?
It's something I created because I'm so cool.
Oh, God. How does that even work? What is the biology
this
there?
This is Sentry Zagora. He's the coolest kaiju ever. Okay, terrible jokes aside, this is another filler artwork for my Pachishoma book. And this character really has no bio for him. He's just going to be, again, just visual filler art for one of the pages. But this is like, I basically took an unsuccessful attempt to draw Gizora from Space Amoeba 1970, the Toho monster movie, episode 483. And it didn't work out, so I gave him a Roman helmet. The giant horn was inspired from somebody's giant robot design. But I had to update the design immensely because the original photo, I used copyrighted elements in the original photo, and I desperately needed to put something more copyright friendly. So I put my own original photographs of Keene Harbor here in Los Angeles, near Redondo Beach. And I gave him a couple of angel wings on the side of his giant helmet to kind of make him look a little better than what he originally had, because his original helmet was a little distracting. But I really do like the way this one came out. And he's basically supposed to be a retired guardsman from Atlantis. And he also happens to be a giant octopus. So, or squid, whatever you want to say. But that's it.
Just something that happens to happen.
By the way, Random G Fan says, rock hard awesome, Brayton. To your last character.
Live free or rock hard.
Yes.
Thank you.
But yeah,
he's
no,
all right. He's I don't know, what does an octopus need with wings?
No, it's just his helmet. He's like Thor. He doesn't fly by his helmet. He just happens to have decorative giant wings.
That seems a little impractical.
They're carved from seashells, so they're a lot lighter than they look.
All right.
A lot heavier than they look, actually. Yeah, no feathers. Yeah, no, seashells are heavier than feathers.
Man, he just sank to the bottom.
Yeah, indeed. So, but yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, so the reason I wanted to share one of my monsters before we go on to the next series, because Brayton, I'm sorry to say this, the next 4 ones are all yours. A part of your villain series. Or do you want me to share another Pachishoma for now, just to kind of give you a little rest?
Yeah, do that, and I'll get another drink of water.
You do that.
Soothe
Then.
my
Okay,
lips.
then I know exactly who to do next. Okay, so we showed you Funajira, just his profile face earlier. This is the full body picture of Funajira, and I combined a picture. This is the side of a hospital I took from one picture when I was taking a walk late at night. And these pictures were donated by a friend's Japanese photographs. But yeah, this was done back in 2002, and as you can see, I originally did a commission for somebody based on Shin Godzilla's secondary form, since that rarely has any fan art to it. And this was one of my earliest Pachishoma characters, so I decided to go with a more ghostly visage. Sometimes I just randomly sketch out different monster faces and elements to see what I could add to the character. And this gigantic Funayuri face just came into mind. I made it more scary because originally the Funayuri, their little head crests here are supposed to be straight triangular, whereas I turned this into like a huge, almost battle horn for stabbing. placed onto the monster's body, gave him like really crappy melted ghostly hands and bracelets, and replaced the Godzilla fins with fiery fins of fire, so to speak. So yeah, so this is the original version of Funajira, and again, a lot of playing around with the layers and the execution to make it actually look ghostly. Although I thought maybe having the moon shine out, the background sky of the moon itself is definitely an original element of mine. Yeah, that's it. This is another picture that's going to be in the Pachishoma book. Now, this one, even though in its filler art, there is a more vertical, I should say, version of this picture that's going to have its own, how can I say, profile. In fact, I'll bring that up if I can find it.
What a pretty boy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, but no, big thanks again to Brayton for coming up with a better name for this monster. But yeah, I've had to redo his picture several times because of some iffy copyright elements. And thankfully, hold on. There we go. This is the final version that will be featured in the book coming up once the computer downloads it. Let's go. Come on, Mr. Computer. There we go. So yeah, I made this a much more friendlier, upright picture version of it. Still using the pictures of Tokyo, my original photographs of the night sky. Made them less see-through, made the back spikes a little brighter. And this is a picture of some motel I just passed by late at night. So at 3 a.m. because I'm creepy. Isn't that right, Brayton?
And you were a ghost in there too.
What? I don't see a ghost. Do you see a ghost? Ooh.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
You better be afraid of me, Mr. Brayton. Let's do it again. Ooh. Ghost Raph coming soon. So isn't it
would he be your last pick to if you were to become a ghost and you were trapped in limbo and forever? Would he be the last one you'd want to be trapped as? Like you can't be yourself. You're a character. You're stuck in his skin, in his ghostly floating skin for your undead days. Wouldn't that suck?
Well, Detective Dirty McCruption is a very happy fellow, so if I'm going to be stuck in purgatory, I might as well be stuck as a completely oblivious scumbag.
The joke is, though, he'll never die.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. He's practically immortal because, yeah, Detective Dirty McCruption, he's this other character I play. He's basically sort of a outrageous spoof of corrupt detectives you see in every Batman media. So, hey, children, how you doing? Give me money. But yeah, no, the joke was, and this is something me and Brayton came up with. While he was blackmailing a scientist, he accidentally found some like kaiju meat samples and made some hamburgers late at night. So he ate all.
I don't like that one.
Yeah.
I don't like. No, that is not what I came up with. I came up with the better version of an origin story where we parody the opening of The Amazing Colossal Man, and he's running out to not save the crashed guy in the helicopter, but to steal and pickpocket his wallet. You know, and move and brush the corpse aside, and he's like, "Aha! What? $20? Huh? No!"
Yeah, no, I thought. Okay, you're right. Your version was a lot better because my original version was sicker.
Was gross and dumb.
Yeah, he finds like Gauss meat, Godzilla meat, King Ghidorah meat, and starts cooking on the grill late at night in a science lab. And it's like, oh, these hamburgers taste horrible, but they're so delicious too. And that's how he gains the ability of super healing and the occasional turning into a giant.
That's far more lurid and gruesome.
Yeah, but no, your idea is a lot funnier because I also thought it'd be funny that he never gets, like, in his mind, he thinks that if he can grab the wallet from the crashed airplane before the bomb strikes, he'll be awarded a medal just for being so cool.
Exactly. Yes.
The president thinks I'm so cool. Yeah. What I'm going, Salvador? What the hell? Oh my god. So yeah, Detective Murder McCruption is a lot of fun. And yeah, I try to, like, he makes several cameos in the book because why not? So here he is as a ghost with Funajira. But yeah, I really did like the way this one came out. And again, Brayton, thank you so much for kind of fleshing this character out a little more.
Yes, fleshing out the ghost. You should make your own I Spy book.
I Spy with my little eye. Self-indulgent cameo. Woo!
This page is just all Dirty McCruption, except he's different colors. It's the same image.
It's like that it's like that goddamn Waldo book. This final page.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I will say goodbye to Funa. Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. Oh, do you want to talk about that before we get to your villain series?
No, let's just rush to the villains series.
Okay. So this is this is not a villain.
That's a pervert there.
Yeah. All right. So Brayton. Oh wait, let me read some comments before we continue. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm doing that. Okay. Random G Fan 19 says, I heard there's going to be an upcoming Norwegian kaiju film about a kraken coming at some point. Yes, it's simply called Kraken. It's from the same creators as the Netflix Trolls movies, about a giant troll that's basically a high-end ripoff of the Monsterverse movies. Yeah, the same creative team is doing the film. Unfortunately, the Russians are also making their own giant octopus movie that unfortunately is also named Kraken. And a lot of people are confusing the two projects. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like, the special effects in the Netflix Troll movie is really good. And I want to see what they do with the giant kraken. But it... Damn it!
Get the fuck up!
Now, as you were.
So there's a stupid movie about an octopus coming.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. But anyways, okay, so I'm going to let that cat outside to save my sanity. I'm going to mute
Let it out of the bag, you know.
Yeah, so I'm going to let Brayton go ahead and explain this series, and I'll be back in a minute or two.
Right. Well, another thing just for fun, not for any, particular amazing project or anything. These aren't even meant necessarily to be inked or colored or anything at all, but just for my own doodle's sake. Raph and I talked about, a long while back of doing he does his things on the internet like Kaijun or Kaijulai, whatever month it falls in. But I wanted to do something, but I have no interest in kaiju. So an idea that we had was doing obscure, 60s and 70s heroes. And this idea sat in the back of my head for quite a long while until this year, where I thought it'd be fun. Well, why don't I just do like a daily or every other daily posting of villains that I've drawn. Obscure Forgotten Rogues is the name of this doodle series. And I've posted 3 so far, with more in the pike. And first, this is Boris Karloff as Cabman John Gray from my favorite Val Lewton produced film, The Body Snatcher, one of my absolute favorite horror movies, period. It's a period piece set in Scotland and taken from a Robert Louis Stevenson novel or short story or novella. And it features Boris Karloff, in my opinion's best villain performance, maybe his best performance, or the favorite for me anyway, period. And that is as Cabman Gray, who is part-time gravedigger, part-time just slinky, creepy murderer. It's a film with both him and Bela Lugosi, the last film they would ever do together. And he's just marvelous. There's so much great dialogue. He has that warm, Grinch-like, endearing Karloff delivery to a lot of his really sick stuff that he's saying. It's a really captivating villain, and definitely one that deserves, I think, a lot more discussion. I bring it up all the time. There's a great YouTube series called Analyzing Evil. I'd love to see one on him. It's, for me, my favorite Karloff film. And the only thing I'm not happy with my drawing is I forgot his little Victorian shoulder cape that these coats have. But other than that, I think it's an okay likeness. He's a bit creepier in my drawing than he is in the movie. But So there's Cabman John Gray for you. And Raph, are you back?
Yes, I am back, and I
Okay.
overheard you on the television, and you beautifully explained that, so we'll gladly move on to the next
Well, do
one.
you have anything to say about Cabman Gray?
I
mean,
like
as
it.
as a character. Or...
Oh yeah, no, he's a complete and total scumbag, and
Yeah.
that movie is really good because it's high end gothic. It's a high end gothic drama. One that isn't supernatural. It's more like a strange crime story, but it's
Yeah.
also like it's a Val Lewton movie, correct?
Yes, I mentioned that his best, I think, that he produced, and Robert Wise's third film,
Yes.
or no, second directorial, because it's complicated with him because he directed like the pickup shots for Magnificent Ambersons, and this movie actually reuses some set stages from Ambersons, and it's a really marvelous kind of gothic, like gruesome story, again having to deal with digging up bodies and then experimenting with said bodies. Very much they remade it based off the same short story as I think The Flesh Fiends with Peter Cushing and Donald Pleasance. A pretty gruesome subject matter, but a really effective, haunting film. The ending of it is a big knockout, and all of Karloff's singing that he does, and again the sort of genteel nature of him playing this really awful guy. It's a very captivating performance.
Yes, and anyone who I was going to say, anybody who accuses Boris Karloff of not being a good actor really needs to see the movies he starred with. He did with Val Lewton's company. So,
yes, he did 3 of them, or 3 or 4 of them. I know there's this one, Isle of the Dead, which is really good, where he plays like a
mad general.
A mad general on like a plagued island, basically. Yeah. And then Bedlam, where he works at like a mental institute type of thing.
Yes.
No, Karloff was an incredible actor, and pigeonholed into a genre, but very much like Vincent Price or someone of that ilk. Every film that he's in, he's like the best part of. So seek it out.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, we did a stream of it, and I know it's archived somewhere. So maybe I'm thinking of like re-airing some of our the movie Graveyard Shift streams.
I say you should do that, because this is another movie that I'm sure will show up on the movie book club. So I'd love to talk about it again, and you should do that for when we have just podcast episodes of that going up as like a prepper for people too.
Yeah. So alternatively, it'd be great to revisit with 100% Weird. I would like to do Dead of Night too, but yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Next villain. Oh wait.
Oh well, this guy wasn't part of the series, but I uploaded him anyway.
Yeah, because you have an obsession.
And ladies and gentlemen, someone put Colin Farrell in the dryer too long.
Oh no!
Here he is.
That evil witch that lives on the top of the Hollywood Hill placed a curse on Colin Farrell and turned him into a bobblehead. So,
yeah, I mean, this is just Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones as Tyrant Lannister,
holding a lollipop.
No, that's not a lollipop. That's an emblem on his thing.
I know.
He's a
It's supposed
little guy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Do we move on or keep it?
Yeah, I don't have much to say about him. He turned out okay.
Yeah. So, all right. Now here is somebody we do know and love and despise.
Edward G. Robinson as Captain Wolf Larson, Captain of the Ghost. And this is our first movie of our first episode on the Movie Book Club is The Sea Wolf, a magnificent film directed by Michael Curtiz in 1940, which is based on a Jack London novel. Sort of a classic piece of literature. And Edward G. Robinson is maybe my favorite actor of the period. He is absolutely magnetic and wonderful in all types of everything that he's in as well. And I'm a big fan of the movies where he does play the villain, and it's basically an acting showcase for him where he can just stand in an ensemble, surrounded in like a closed setting and just hold court and be evil and deliver great speeches. He's absolutely dynamite on screen. So like Key Largo, for example, being a movie where he's like the centerpiece and they're trapped in a location. Similar kind of thing in The Sea Wolf, which definitely does get into a lot more, again, psychological and philosophical areas, but also at the same time a very effective thriller, maritime thriller. And he is absolutely wonderful as Captain Wolf Larson, who is this little dictator of this little island, this microcosm society that he's created on his boat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great, very Val Lewton feeling film in that it all has this sort of fog drenched, haunting atmosphere to it. And it's a short enough film, but it packs a lot into it. It's got a great cast. We have a lot to say about this guy on that podcast, so I'll save a lot for there.
Yeah.
But as for the drawing, though, itself, no, I'm really happy with how it turned out. This is a Frankenstein piece, though, because I could share the original one where I drew him in his entirety, but his face looked like it was melting, which Edward G. Robinson's face already kind of does look like it's melting.
Mm-hmm.
He's reminiscent of like an evil bullfrog in human form. But I drew a second
character. He wasn't that hideous in real life.
I drew a second head, though, and I sort of plopped that on my first body's drawing, and came off pretty seamlessly. And yeah, I mean, it looks like him, so I'm satisfied.
Yes. Sorry about that. It is late. But anyways.
Notice how Raph yawns when I'm talking.
I yawn even when I try to talk myself, so... but with that, be grateful I didn't do the whistle yawns that I usually am infamous for. Oh, I can't. Anyways.
All aboard the Raffi Express. Okay.
Woohoo. But yeah, no, this is a great movie, and are we talking about it in the first episode of the upcoming podcast?
Yes, as I just mentioned, it's the very first movie that we talk about on the very first episode.
Yes, and yeah, no, him as a major dictator in a small pond, I think perfectly describes his character. But yeah, no, this was a really fun movie to watch. And if you guys like old timey special effects, whether it's just like nautical water stunts or model ships, it's like, yeah, it's another reason to watch this movie too. So there's one unconvincing special effects though that we do make fun of, and it's related to our dear friend Eddie G here, but that's for later. So.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next villain, and this is from a movie that you've seen, but I've yet to see. Though even I am aware of this villainess.
Oh yes. Mrs. Eleanor Shaw Islan, played by the warm and kindly and tea drinking Angela Lansbury in her finest performance, I would say, in the original Manchurian Candidate from 1964, directed by John Frankenheimer. This will be seen on either the podcast or the movie Graveyard Shift at some point. It's a great movie, great performance from Frank Sinatra too. But her character is absolute steel, cold-hearted. She's a communist operative in the film who sort of pushes a McCarthy type husband that she's married to sort of fulfill her own political ambition. So it's kind of a great commentary on, a lot of the great female politicians sort of being, just because of their gender, not being able to accomplish things themselves back then. But she is absolutely just a total wrecking ball in the movie. And it's a weird film, a very weird, enjoyable film. Her son is basically trained to be a communist assassin who gets triggered by the game of solitaire and the Queen of Diamonds. So that's her holding a deck of cards in her hand saying, "Why don't you pass the time playing solitaire?" And marvelous villain for the ages. So that this was third in my Forgotten Rogues gallery of evil.
Yeah, I think we're actually I would like to do this movie on the movie Graveyard Shift, if not maybe 1% weird as a mind control night. But with that says, yeah, no, let's definitely do this movie sooner than later, because it's about time I sit down and watch it. And I love the fact that he told me that it's a little more surreal and weird than its reputation gives it. So
yeah.
So do you want to talk about kind of like her interesting face and how hard it was to try to get that right?
It was hard to get her interesting face right, because I still think, like, if you see a bunch of shots from the movie, I think it looks like her. But I kept drawing B. Arthur when I did my initial sketches, and it still kind of is there. But even from this angle, she kind of has like a Maud look to her in the movie, and that's what makes her even more deadly. But no, Angela Lansbury is a very unique charming face. Like, and she's always looked the same. If you look at her first role in Gaslight, she's a young maid in that movie, but her eyes, her face still has the same. I mean, you can tell it's her from a mile away. So, in this movie, in The Manchurian Candidate, they typically, they didn't like ugly her up or anything in certain scenes. That she just had, wore no makeup, and it was sort of in her body posture and things, how she comes across. She's a tough nut to crack when it comes to drawing, but I think I got close enough to where I'm happy with it.
You definitely would do a better job than I did, because if I did, it'd just be wrinkles everywhere. It's like, it's not her, it's a prune face.
I at least got the hair right. I'm proud of how the hair turned out, because it's an
the
interesting swoop of a hairdo.
Yes. And this is also another Frankensteining of the two images, unless I missed that point.
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. So,
yeah, I was doing this on the call with you a couple nights ago.
Yes, and it came out great, and I can't wait to see more of the rogues, great unsung movie rogues. You called it,
just forgotten rogues.
Forgotten rogues. Yes. Now, before we get to the next, this is going to be very brief, but okay. So there's another project I'm working on, which has been pushed back for May.
Your Three Amigos remake.
Yes, indeed. No, we did something called the Glue podcast a while ago, which was another April Fool's premiere, I think, where it was sort of a podcast between different supervillains, but the raw recording we saved, and it's hilarious because we're just kind of cracking up and desperately trying to read this dumb dialogue I wrote. And the title card for it was going to be simple. It was going to be kind of a play on the Three Stooges opening title card, with Brayton represented here as Conal Branzit. Wynn, our good friend Wynn, as her self-insert fantasy elf character
named Wynn.
Wynn, yes, and then me as the Crimson Weirdo. But then when I showed this preview image to Brayton, he was okay with these two, but he was not okay with the Crimson Weirdo.
I would say there's a little creative license going on with the Crimson Weirdo. Yeah, he's a little chunkier, a little stringy. There, I say, in this image.
I don't want to repeat what you said, but you basically was concerned for his health. I'll just say that.
Yes, he was drained by the succubus in this image.
Indeed. So thankfully, Brayton and his ambit.
This is gonna be my last Christmas. My last.
Hello, everybody.
Go on, don't you want one last scare?
I've been playing the Crimson Weirdo for 48 years. Oh.
I finally kicked the steroids, and this is what happened. Oh.
And now I'll sing a little song. Yes, ra 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 ba 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 da. Little drummer boy, I forgot the lyrics.
Peace on earth,
Peace
Mark,
on earth.
you're upstaging me again.
Thump dead.
Boy.
So
do you think he has a Jedi death where he just disappears?
I want to think he probably has a more spectacular death, but I'm just thinking what wizard went out in like a really insane fashion. So, oh my goodness. Galgo. Well, no, Galgo survived, but yeah, right. Galgo went. Yeah. Maybe he explodes like a Power Ranger villain or something. I'll be back in the sequel. Oh, no. The joke was, this was a joke me and my brothers always had when we watched the Return of the Jedi, when the spoilers warning, when Darth Vader throws the Emperor down that gigantic exhaust port and he explodes. Basically, the joke would be, it's like, I'll be back in the prequels. So yeah, maybe some of the Crimson Weirdo here, but no.
New nickname for Miss Blue, gigantic exhaust port.
We're almost done, folks. Oh God. So anyways, yeah, so Brayton saw this picture, was concerned for the Crimson Weirdo's health. And he was like, I shall do a better version of this. And I can't complain, because your ambition and enthusiasm for these projects have been a real soul-lifting experience, so to speak. But
nice.
So yeah, I'm not sharing the new sketches he drew for the Crimson Weirdo and Conal Branzit, especially since he wants to give the Crimson Weirdo one more try. But this is his take on Wynn's self-insert character that I'll be inking later this month. And
I
his
don't get it.
yeah. What's going on? It's not that creative and it's stupid.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Indeed. Miss Blue, what the hell? I win. You're good. It's hard to yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay, you do the Win impression. I'll do the impression of her smoke alarm.
God, this makes no sense at all. Why are my ears sticking out like that? They're an elf's ears. They don't jet at weird angles. It's all wrong, and it's unacceptable.
It's like she's here.
Beep. Yeah. No. Win's a good friend. She's very good humor, and she's a great voice actress. We're gonna try to have her do more roles. But yeah, no, the joke is that the new title card is all three characters trying to read this stuff, except the Crimson Weirdo. He's proud of what he wrote because, you know, I'm a creative blowhard in that regard. A loudmouth braggart, I should say. But yeah, no, Win's just confused by everything. And why did you give Win a midriff? She's okay with it, but I'm just curious why'd you went with that
I
choice?
don't know. I was drawing like line texture on her shirt, and then that one was cut a little too low, and that gave me the idea for a belly to be showing. But if she's okay with it, that's okay. It makes her more hip and, you know, more edgy. And I was trying to ape your kind of style that you do with your characters' faces and everything, and it kind of came out to me as Danny Phantom and drag. But as long as she's all right, then that's all right with me, Mama.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's an okay take on it.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll be working on this later in the month as far as the illustration goes. But the audio itself has been edited because there were some elements in the raw recording I had to get rid of, like an incredibly long joke we had about improv joke we did about To Catch a Predator that I will not repeat.
Oh, you got rid of that? Damn you!
I had to. Okay, how about this?
I thought she was 40. Okay.
How about this? I'll send you that portion, and if you can kind of edit out the more extreme bits, then yeah, we'll leave it in. So, oh my goodness. Okay, but yeah, so Glue rejected, Win okay.
Win accepted.
Win accepted. Uh-oh.
Hell yeah.
So this is brand new to me. I haven't seen it until tonight. Okay, I know I downloaded these. I saw the thumbnails, but I have not looked at these directly until now.
I even made it like a fake sort of concept character sketch. I put like a fake paper behind it. And yeah, so this is, I mean, do I need to say? This is our wonderful host, Raph and Shoma. I am going to, well, first off, you'll see another image in a moment what the certain heads are for floating there. But there is more graphic design to be done with this show, basically, and upcoming live streams. And but no, also I had an alternate idea too for our movie book club thumbnail sketch. Eventually, we may have some physical representation. And so I took a crack at it. Raph is the, I don't know, you're the most visually striking of the three of us, not in beauty, but just in eye-catching way. You know,
Screw you.
You leap off the page, Raph. You're a walking, talking comic book character.
Yes.
And
if Hans Conried is a handsome-looking vulture, I am a intimidating-looking kiwi.
You're the fuzzy-faced friendly giant in Shoma.
Okay.
And this is cartoon. This is cartoon Raph. Basically, one for one, an image of that Raph has holding one of his cats there on the left.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that image of the cat just for reference sake. So yeah, Professor. That was the name of the cat. He's no longer with us. We believe he moved elsewhere.
Oh. Like to heaven or to next door?
No. He moved in with other people. We know that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, because he was like a major runt of the litter, and I think he desperately just wanted to go find a little place for him. But he lived here for a little while. We loved him. He was. Here we go. This is the picture this is based off.
Yes, exactly. That's my model right there.
Yeah. So yeah, I took this at a party with my friend Adam. Yeah, and this is the front room that I currently live in, although it's not as awesome looking as this is now. But yeah, this is Little Professor. He was one of the 8 original cats we adopted, but he eventually moved to another house, and we've seen him. He's alive and well, but he no longer wants to have anything to do with us. because it was like, what is it? There's 7 other cats and constantly got his ass beat, and he was kind of a scaredy guy. So, but yeah, this is what you based it after.
This, and let me ask you this, because I know I've done one other piece before, but this being the first major fan art of you, how do you feel? I mean, cycle back and forth. I think it's pretty good.
No, this is a younger me, so I'm a lot more handsome. Look at that beautiful coif of hair there. It's like, it's like, yeah, I look like
back when you had a tail and 4 legs. Oh, the big one.
Yeah,
Oh,
you could almost like, I look like a retired music critic.
That's your professional author photo.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. I got to use this in the upcoming kaiju book.
We used that in your top 10 movies video.
Oh yeah, that
This
too.
image.
So yeah, because but no, it's funny. I don't know if Professor was aware of the joke or he was just terrified people were taking pictures of him. Because when cats see cameras, they think a giant black cyclops is coming their way.
You stole my soul.
Don't do it. No, I win.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, but yeah, no. This is pretty decent. It's like you didn't make me too fat. I appreciate that, but this is a younger, sexier me. I've really let myself go recently. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah. No, I'm just more grayer and less dynamic in the hair department. So, but yeah, it's the same.
Well, the hair was a big part of it, you know, and I captured the Raph and Shoma blow up doll expression well, I think, for each 3 of these characters.
Yes.
But for the you'll see what they will be incorporated in with the next image here.
Oh yes, but first I want to
think.
read this quick comment from Goji Say. He says, "Would you feel insulted
Yeah.
if I say you look like Kevin Smith in these drawings, Raph?" Yes, I would. Get the hell out. You're banned.
Hey, welcome to Smodcast. All right, man.
I'm here too. Ooh, let's talk movies. I like movies. I know you do. And Random G Fan says, sorry to leave you guys so soon, but I'm calling it a night. Just letting you know that I won't be here for streams too often. It's late for me. This was a rare occurrence. We'll try to do one earlier in the day. Yeah, that's something I got to do. Late at night is good for me time-wise, and I know Brayton is definitely a night owl in his own right, perhaps even worse than I am. He's in a different time zone, so... But, and his address is blah, 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 112. And here's my bank card. You go, by the way, Goji Shay laughed back. But yeah, no, I think I may have to do more streams at different times of days just to see who I can get and don't get, but also to advertise these things ahead of time. And Kaiju Commander says to you, Brayton, nice sketches, solid work.
Oh,
So.
thank you. Yes, this is Raph as he appears in his animated sitcom Raph's Life with cats.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I gotta poop, but you won't put me down. Yeah, okay, so did you
Wake the fuck up, dude.
Bum,
No,
bum.
I look. My weakness is animals. That's another big problem with me.
Mhm.
So I tried to draw kind of a similar cat.
Mhm.
And in the next image, you'll see I gave up completely. But this is an image for you to alter to your specifications later on.
Yeah, I like this.
Don't make yourself 100 pounds.
I'm not gonna make me that big. So I do want to like do this as a PNG and just have a giant floating confused Raph head going back and forth against the screen like a ping pong ball.
Okay, well, speaking of confusion, let's see what they'll be used for.
Right, next one. Come on, computer. Come on, computer. Uh-oh, it may have froze up. Oh, there we go.
Yes! Now, this is a day in the life.
Okay, so as you know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm terrible at multitasking.
What would lead you to that impression by this thing?
Yeah, and I've gotten to the point where I don't care about that anymore because, again, this is a very amateur show. I appreciate the views. I appreciate the fans of it. I know at least 100 people usually check out this stuff before I rewatch it. In the first couple of days, it's repeated. But yeah, this is this is very true to a lot of the problems I have when the computer explodes. I love that there's nuts and bolts coming out of the
I would
computer.
imagine, yeah, you can put in more gears and things flying out of it.
Exactly. So, and I love just the confused, sad face. It's like, oh no,
Ooh.
oh no, oh no, oh no.
We may have a serious problem here, folks.
Oh God, change the cartoons. So, by the way, we should play some public domain cartoons if we all have to go for on breaks or something.
Yeah, but this is a future card to be used for standby technical difficulty intermission.
Yeah,
on the show.
Yeah, but and by the way, I love. I know my cats don't look all the same. They look different.
I got lazy.
I know, but at the same time, I love the idea that they're just all identical cats, just all hanging around me like.
You did it again.
Meow 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 meow.
Yes, I've always described it's in some cases more successful, but Raph essentially is Homer Simpson at the nuclear control panel.
That's it.
So
this is get out of here.
This is a visual representation of that in motion for you.
Mm-hmm. And Shay says it's the rimshot machine exploding on Raph's computer.
Rimshot machine
failing. Rimshot machine failing. Oh my God! But that is very hilarious. So my neck's a little big, but that's okay. I'll take care of it. Oh no!
It's George Lucas, Raph.
I know. Oh no! What have they done to my Duel of the Fates? I was thinking about that movie today. It was never made, so how could I think of it? Okay. And last but not least, we're going to the third concept.
Oh yeah, that's just the other head. Oh God!
Animation. Oh no. Yeah, it's like no.
It's shorter hair version.
No. Oh no.
I'm in
trouble. No.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, yeah, which one does look better? This
I think that one.
Yeah, this one. Although this one's a little more in proportion too. So. But...
Oh, yeah. The other one though, you're looking down at the.
Yeah, I'm looking down, but this one has like a really good like dynamic. I'm looking at the camera. It's like, oh shit.
I made a oopsie.
I can't show it because it's sort of a private joke, but one of our friends almost burned down his apartment a couple of years ago. And I drew a
hilarious.
Yeah, while he was like cooking fish, and I quickly whipped up a picture on Bitmap of him holding like a burnt fish on a plate while there's like an inferno going on behind him. And he's like, dinner's done. Oh my goodness. So he got a kick out of it when we did it originally. But yeah, I'm not going to share that in public for various reasons. You'll know who it is. That's why.
Raffin Shoma. There he is.
Yes. No, this is both insulting and complimentary. I thank you for it, Brayton. So
yeah.
Okay, so let me make sure. Is there any more images you want to send my way? Because we're practically done. These three are the last of it, and we're going to be ending soon.
Oh, oh no. Well, I can send you very quickly the movie book club logo.
Oh yeah, go ahead and do that. And that way we can go into detail about it before we end the night.
All right.
Darn it! I thought the computer was going to
What's that? Oh no, it's happening again! No.
Life imitates art, and art becomes life.
Yeah.
So because I'm trying to do the animated thing, but yeah, the computer's still a little too slow for it. So. Okay, but I have Facebook open and ready to receive whatever you send my way. But yeah, one more look at this one, and one more look at this one.
Oh.
Okay, so we mentioned Phantom Denim throughout the night and why he's such a weirdo. But yeah, thanks to Brayton and some of my own writing, we basically wrote this together, and this is another preview of the Pachimon book. Yeah. And I think Chris Etten donated this picture of a parking lot, although if I'm mistaken, oh, wait a minute, no. I'm probably, if I'm mistaken, then sorry about that. But this was a really good picture of wherever G-Fest used to take place, that terrible hotel. With the really cool
Crown
pool.
Plaza in Chicago, or in Rosemont, O'Hare, right next to the airport.
Yes. Yeah, this was a really good picture, and it's like I had a picture of Mirror Man that I heavily altered with one of the silver moai heads from Godzilla vs. Megalon. And this is Phantom Denim, who is basically an interdimensional weirdo who just shows up in our dimension and disappears. If you want, Brayton, I can read the whole thing.
I like the idea that we came up with, though, where he doesn't disappear all in one piece.
Yeah, he
Like
just
it's like an it's like a I Dream of Genie effect where he blips out, but like his nose stays behind, or like his feet will be there, and like it's all sort of out of sync with each other with his appearance.
yeah. It kind of reminds me of like some of the creepier takes on the Cheshire Cat when they do it in live action. So yeah.
He's a walking glitch and a peeping pervert. This man.
Yeah. Okay. So here's a question about Phantom Denim. So the gag with him is that he's this weird interdimensional guy who keeps blipping in and out of our world, and as such, he is the most constantly seen kaiju phenomenon ever. But he also shows up in some of the worst places imaginable. In fact, you added the gag that he has ruined many adult film shoots with his presence. So I can I can imagine like two people are doing it, and he just shows up above them. It's like, hello.
Right. Or like the shot of King Kong and looking in the window.
Yeah, exactly. So it's he's but with that
all
says,
big, blown up and ugly. You know?
yeah, do you think he's a deliberate pervert, or you think he just
I want to believe that he likes to watch.
Yeah, I can imagine he just like bends over in like really bizarre ways, and just to like take a close look, he's like, "What are you doing in the car?"
He's just naturally curious,
Billy.
like all growing monsters.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, because originally the idea was I was going to have this character be like an interdimensional wizard, but then I realized I have too many giant wizards as it is in this damn book. So he just became this weird guy who just pops in and out of reality. And I love the idea that you came up with. It's just, he doesn't appear just, like he'll immediately show up, but when he disappears, it's like a very awkward,
Yeah, it's like someone made a frame mistake when they're editing his outro.
Oh my god. Okay, so I can't show it publicly for various reasons, but there was a little film I made on the VHS tape and a camcorder with my brothers that was kind of imitating Power Rangers / Ultraman.
Oh, you have to show that at some point.
I need the permission of my brothers first and foremost. And if I did upload it on YouTube, I'd like to add some animation effects for the lasers, so I'll make some PNGs and you just insert them.
No, that must retain its purity.
How about this? We'll start with the raw version, and then we'll do the special edition following it in the same video.
Fine.
Okay, yeah, okay, there we go. But yeah, and I'm leaving this up, so in case you guys want to read it, you can. But yeah, no, there's one scene where I attempt some stop motion animation where the alien dies, but he like slowly crimples up into oblivion, for lack of a better term. And it seemed impressive as a kid, but in retrospect, it's like, okay, come on, disappear. All right, come on, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get the feeling to be something similar with this guy. So it's like,
Yeah.
And it's like maybe his hand's the last thing that disappears, and it's like, bye, beam.
Oh shit! I left the hand in Norway.
Oh no. So yeah, that's Phantom Denim, and I would read this, but
Have you guys seen a giant blue penis? Last time I was here, I think I may have dropped it.
My invisible vanishing ball. And then Miss Blue's like, "What are these?"
I have a giant exhaust port.
Oh no. Hey kids, you shouldn't be watching this. Your parents should be ashamed of you and of us.
Title for this podcast: The New Miss Blue.
What are we going to call this episode? Brayton draws like a
Miss
good
Blue.
boy.
Oh, I don't know. We'll think of something after the show. That's how these things work out.
Okay, yeah, we'll try to come up with something before the stream. But I do love that gag. It's like, it's like Brayton picked up a crayon today.
Yeah. What's on Brayton's fridge?
Yeah, hey, I like that. What's on Brayton's fridge? That's probably the winner. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the comments before we end the night, which will be pretty soon, yeah, definitely share your ideas. Do you want to save the movie book club logo as the last thing, or do you want me to share it now?
You go ahead if you have something else big to talk about.
Oh yeah, no. This is one more example of the Pachimon Pachishoma artwork.
We'll go do that.
Okay, yeah, but no. Thank you, Brayton. With your help, we really made this character into a comedy failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now if only we can convince our friend Ace to wear this costume.
So depressing.
Yeah, just give him a bunch of smoke bombs, and it's like you and me will be like with giant sheets of metal, so it's like wah 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 wah. Woo! Wah, 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 wah.
Industrial Light and Maniacs.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, should we call the episode that Industrial Light and Maniacs?
Maybe.
Oh, because we are maniacs and we do magics. Okay, so let me go ahead and check the comments before we move on. He kind of sounds like a giant version of the galaxy beam from the Outer Limits. Here's my impression of the galaxy beam. Sorry, everyone. I'm just visiting. Oh, man, I didn't mean to blow that up. Oh, sorry, everyone. Oh, man, that guy burned.
Why does this keep happening to me?
I'll sit down in this chair. Oh, the chair's on fire. Don't be like the galaxy beam. Wear protection.
No. Does everything you touched start to smolder?
Yes. Do you glow an unnatural glow? Do you kill every human you accidentally wave to? Oh, the galaxy beam. Goji says, cat, you horrible cat, you.
Raph.
Fuck. All right, fine. Oh, did I close it up? I closed it up. I can't use it. I'm sorry, Brayton. It's not going to be.
Oh, that's okay. I copied the link. Here you go.
Where are you sending it?
It's in the private chat.
Oh. All right, cat sighting.
We've got cats on.
Brayton disappeared there? Okay. Hold on, here we go. Cat, stop.
Oh my god!
Cat, no! You leave the galaxy beam alone!
It's the fuck up! It's got me!
Okay, so we kicked out the troublemaker Whiskers, Agent Whiskers, Master of Evil. But unfortunately, Fluffy, my most beloved cat, yes, I have a favorite because she chose me a couple of years ago during 2020.
How romantic.
Yeah. It was like You Got Mail, but even more disturbing.
You've got cats.
Yeah. Why is Tom Hanks dressed up as Fluffy? Hi, I'm Mr. Nasty.
Memories all alone in the moonlight.
By the way, we did a podcast based on Shop Around the Corner, and we briefly mentioned that terrifying 90s movie. But yeah, Fluffy loves to just grab wires, and sadly, she almost destroyed the microphone tonight. So.
The music is fitting.
Yes, it is. So, okay, so let me read what I was going to say before Fluffy ruined it. Goji Shay says, I wouldn't say that the comedy's been a failure, but I've been laughing all stream. Yeah, apparently we're very funny, according to our fans. None of you. Okay, but yeah, that's enough with Phantom Denim. And this is going to be very quick before I open up the... Actually, I should open up the next image. So just, if it's there, hold on. Where are you? Oh, there you are.
There you are.
Okay. All right. So before we go on to that, this is another one of the Pachishoma filler artwork. This character does not have any written information about him. I may have shared this character before, and if so, sorry if I'm repeating myself, but this is my take on Tobozu, who is basically Gamera without a shell and giant underbite taken from the monster Magula from Ultraman. Magula Amidala. So yeah, this is the original picture where he's menacing a famous port in Italy whose name escapes me, hence it's not as famous as I want it to be. I want to call it Gelato Port, but it's like, no, Raph. The Italians are not that cliche. But yeah, this is the original. This is the original picture. Computer's a little slow, so we'll just do that. And I love how that you have this giant monster attacking the port, and yet you have like just regular 4 people just standing there like nothing's happening.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you. But first I'm gonna look at this building very long. I didn't even notice there's a woman.
It's amazing.
All this, and I can eat it too. And he's walking with 2 buildings on his side because he's naked. He doesn't want anyone to see.
Yeah, modest. The
Yes.
modest turtle.
Yes, but no. So I've drawn this character twice. First off, I did a joke where I drew him as a human being, but I guess it's way too subtle of a gag. So, but no, I decided to draw the monster himself, and of course, being kind of a lazy son of a bitch, I just took 2 photos I took from the beach and put it together here. Actually, I should take that back. My mom's a great woman. Like a lazy son of a gun,
A son of a beach.
son of a beach, because it is a beach. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, Mom. But yeah, so I don't know. At first I was tempted to do a bunch more illustrations based on the original Pachimon, but the book's already over 100 pages as it is, and like you said, Brayton, it's been gestating for too long, needs to get out there. So this ended up just being simple filler artwork. Maybe I'll do a follow-up book where I take a bunch of the original Pachimon and do my own illustrations based on them. And maybe update this one by actually giving it, real artwork illustrations instead of just reusing photographs. Although I don't mind the kind of photo collaging here. So,
It's accurate. It's accurate.
It's accurate, yeah. Although when I shared this picture by itself, many people accused me. It's like, oh, that's nice, but you really got to do the background better, kid. I don't get the joke. Thank you, Kaiju Cord, the Discord forum that I've come to loathe and despise.
It's their loss. It's your loss for falling in with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize. Your mother is not a beach.
She's a mountain.
New podcast title. Your mom is not a beach.
I like Industrial Light and Maniacs a little better.
I like fridge art.
Brayton shares his fridge art. Brayton Sweetie shares his fridge art. Oh my god, because this was your idea for the show and you did a lot of the wonderful graphics tonight, so maybe we should call it
Brayton's fridge art.
Yes. So, and Goji Shea says we're giving this monster Peter Lorre's voice. Oh no.
Oh no, what's that?
Yeah,
International Beaver Day? Is that what that said?
No. Stupid Google News came up. I don't know about International Beaver Day, but Miss Blue would know.
Okay, new live stream title: International Beaver Day.
Okay, we'll go with that. It's
all right. Good.
Best of both worlds, folks. Or mostly Shay. Yeah, which one would you do? International Beaver Day, Industrial Light and Maniacs, or you son of a beach.
Come on, if you let me have International Beaver Day, you didn't let me have Japanese man ass, so this will make up for it.
All right, we'll call it International Beaver Day, and I'll put like a little beaver in the corner holding one of your artwork.
Very good.
Okay. International Beaver Day, the day Brayton shared his fridge art. So,
damn.
Yeah. So, but any damn.
Because it's a beaver, There you go.
Oh darn it! I didn't mean to bash it down onto the.
That means you got to make another one. No, that means you got to make 2 more puns.
Oh. I can't think of anything. I'm not that clever right now.
Well, this book has been a real turtle to get over. And yes, and I don't have anything else, but we'll make one before we end the night.
Yeah, you're pretty shell shocked about this whole thing, aren't you?
There, our souls have been redeemed.
Yes. Our souls or our shells? I found this at a thrift store. There must be like a board game that's very lonely without this thing. But they're also
this show is like something someone found at a thrift store in a tote bucket under a lot of Polly Pocket toys.
As you can tell, when Brayton starts getting angry, that means we're going to end the stream soon.
That's just, I'm reflecting.
Yeah.
When Brayton gets reflective on the experience.
Yeah. So actually, I thought tonight went really well. We stuck to one subject matter and it worked for the most part. But
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, that's Tobozu. He just loves looking at stuff near the seashore.
He's amazed by the architecture of human civilization.
I know, and here he's like, look at the little car. You like it? I
Wow, that is so like a car we used to own.
And here he's just dazed, man. He lives at Venice Beach after being cursed by a witch and turned into a human. Oh man, I gotta find a job.
Tough break.
Yeah, look how bad I drew these fingers back in 2023. Oh my god.
I can hardly draw him better now.
Oh no, you're doing a lot better than I am. So, but yeah, let's say goodbye to Tobozu and say hello, because tonight we're going to reveal what we're working on for the future.
Yeah, big revelation. Look at the pretty logo. Mainly just the golden part of it. The background will
yeah.
maybe be a little
It's
bit
turning
different. But
me on.
Raph and I did this in a night. And
Of
I
passion.
changed it up. Raph has sort of outlined what I drew for the camera with the open book base to it, and then I kind of made it into a, golden kind of emblem for our movie book club podcast, coming to a podcast service near you, April 16th or 19th. I can't remember,
Mhm.
but one of those dates. And yes, streaming on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts is the idea.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'll need you to double check what service your brothers use.
Oh yeah. Do you just want me to
I
say it
don't
now
know.
for reference sake, or don't worry about it?
Just tell me after the stream, and then I'll write it down for a
Okay.
change.
Yeah. So, ironically, it's called International Beaver Day.
Well, there we have it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
The Beaver Cast.
Yes, but the idea behind this podcast is that we're doing this with our friend Patrick Galvin, and we've done kind of 2 pilot episodes so far when we talked about Kwai-Dan, the Japanese horror anthology classic, and Shop
Right.
Around the Corner / You Got Mail, the wonderful Christmas movie from the 30s, 40s, I should say, and the really horrible 90s, a reimagining, because it's far from a remake because it sucks that badly, kind of, sort of, a little bit, maybe. So we decided to kind of follow that up. There was another episode we recorded for The Bad Sleep Well that will be incorporated into this upcoming podcast.
Our first bonus episode.
Yes, our first bonus episode, but we kind of been sitting on the back burner for a long time. Usually, mostly because of the very controversial final 17 minutes, which I think is genius. But Brayton and Patrick had issues, despite the fact they had a lot of fun dealing with those final 17 minutes. But that's for you to find out, folks, and for us to know.
Exactly right.
Yes. Shay says, "Shell, yeah." Okay. But yeah, no, Brayton, even though I'm pretty decent with artwork and coloring, your graphic design is incredible. You drew this little logo. I just did basic line work over it, and then you take it and you make it actually look like something that would be, I hate to say, this looks like a high-class DVD box set logo you would find at like a 99-cent store or a gas station. It's like Public Domain Theater presents.
Exactly. So that little emblem there will be easy to put like in the corners of things and just on different cards and stuff. But no, it has a nice sort of old book feel, like something you can see on a book cover, but also has a regal kind of weathered quality. So the movie book club, we've got 3 new recordings in the can of 9 different movies, and that will be appearing on my channel on the YouTubes with I don't even know if I'm going to do a whole lot of visuals at all, but it'll be there if it's easier for you to fetch podcasts from this website instead of Spotify or other places where I know there are ads and things.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, look forward to that. I'm glad we made the announcement tonight, so to speak. But, yeah, we actually have projects coming down the corner. So, unfortunately, we will not be doing audio commentaries for Sailor Moon.
Well, you mean you can? You and your other friends.
Yeah, but you know, I'm just going to be like, yeah, I had a crush on this monster. Why did the artist have to draw the Minotaur monster so sexy?
I think the more uncomfortable the commentary, it sort of circles back to being a sophisticated kind of performance art that you should partake in.
Whenever I watch Danny Phantom, I see him in drag.
Oh boy. Oh no. Don't end up like that one guy.
That's a quick question for you. Okay, do you listen to audio commentaries as often as I do, or not as much?
No, a lot.
Okay, all right. Not naming names, but what are some of the worst audio commentaries you've ever heard?
Oh, I don't know. A lot of the movies that I'm really interested in, the commentaries actually have okay commentaries on them. A lot of the one on Night in the City, which we watched recently for a stream on Twitch, and is one of my favorite movies, is very informative. But it's one of those the guy is just reading a bunch of facts commentaries. There are these two guys who I really like. They do the commentaries for a lot of the Hammer movies. And a lot of the Warner Brothers releases. They did a commentary actually for the Beast with Five Fingers, which we also did. Their names are Steve Haberman and Christopher Nasser, I think their names are. And they have they're very, very well read and intelligent, and they have a great repartee. And I think they're my favorite commentary duo at the moment because the conversation feels extremely natural and very listenable. While also being extremely informative, and these guys know their stuff. So if I would recommend anybody look out specific audio commentaries from people, it would be, buy the DVDs for some of the Hammer Dracula films, Brides of Dracula, Risen from the Grave, Horror of Dracula. All of them have commentaries from those two guys, and they know their stuff.
Yes. Okay. So actually, yeah. So
it's tough work, though. It is tough work.
Hell yeah!
It's not easy.
Yeah. It's like I tried doing a commentary by myself, and while you enjoyed it immensely, and it definitely was one of my more energetic solo outings, I really do feel that if I was to redo it, maybe I should do some research and have the paper with me while sharing my own individual thoughts on it. But
I think the next one should be Message from Space.
Message from Space. Yeah. By myself, or do I get people with me? Because I know Kevin.
By yourself. I want the more personal Raph and Shoma movies to be a solo, because they're more personal to you. It's one of your favorites.
Yeah. I think what I'll do, because Kevin Dorndorf, he's a mutual acquaintance of ours, and he actually was on Night Owling, which was a great night because him and I talked for 2 hours and a half about, what happened in the world of giant monsters. And then you were like, no, you're not ending the night there, buddy. You dragged me back, and we had a really nice 2-hour-and-a-half conversation about real life.
Well, that doesn't sound like me at all.
Yes. No, it's like, no kaiju crap.
No.
Why did you name the episode Gigan is so sexy? Because he is sexy.
But
if Gigan was human, we'd all want to man crush him.
The trick with doing a commentary, especially specifically if you're a solo commentator, is not saying everything you have to say in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, that is true.
You kind of have to pace yourself.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah, there's some commentaries where it's like I swear people basically spilled out everything in the first 30 minutes, and that's it. So, it's like there's a couple audio commentaries I'm not happy with, but I don't want to name names and I don't want to name titles. But I am thinking of spoofing one of them because it's one of those audio commentaries where you have obviously an old-timey director who wants to share facts about the movie, but he barely remembers anything of it. And then the host is obviously somebody off the internet who just wants to make fun of the movie because there's a guy in a rubber suit in it. And it's like oil and water, but water is desperately trying to class up the joint while oil is just dragging it back in.
Well, okay, before we leave, do you have a single favorite audio commentary?
Oh my good question. I'm going to kind of cheat it a little bit because it's kind of a tie because it's two audio commentaries from the same person for the same movie on two separate channels.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, let me explain. Okay, so first off, the runner-up would be some of the audio commentaries for the old school Doctor Who DVDs, because they're just hilarious to hear Tom Baker and his co-stars go I have no idea what's going on, but it's very entertaining. Well, I remember that special effect. Doesn't look so good. No, but it was funny. No, the Shout Factory release of Star Crash. Hold on, let me bring up the guy's name because he does such a good job and there's really good audio commentaries. All right, Star Crash DVD commentary.
Star Crash, the James Dean story.
Oh!
James Dean and Jane Mansfield in a head-on collision.
I was like, for a moment there, I was like, don't say anything. Don't indulge it. Wait, that was good.
Yeah.
That was terrible, though. You should be ashamed of yourself. Okay, so
Let's hit the brakes on that joke.
hey, the Star Crash Blu-ray from Shout Factory is only $10. Holy shit!
Well, I'll be a son of a beach.
Yeah, do you want a copy, Brayton?
I'm fine.
Okay. Oh, and just as I'm about to look at the website, Shout Factory puts a giant coupon in my face. Okay. So, yeah, so part of the Roger Corman Cult Classics collection released by Shout Factory, they did a really extremely well done special edition of Star Crash, a movie that really doesn't deserve the love that it gets, but it gets it nonetheless. And apparently a lot of the extras and additional information came from a gentleman named Stephen Romano, who is an American despite his Italian last name. And he loved the movie so much that he came very close to publishing a book about the making of Star Crash and why he loves this movie and why it's his all-time favorite film. Unfortunately, the book never got made because there was obviously a limited interest for it, and he couldn't find any funding. So a lot of the information he wrote for the book, he reincorporated into this special edition. And what's amazing, and while Shout Factory, I think, is sort of hit and miss with their extras, for the most part, it's mostly hits. And what's amazing is they gave this guy 2 commentaries for the same movie. There is an audio commentary where he just shares his basic feelings towards the movie, and as well as some kind of surface details, like, the actors and how they got involved. And then there's a more technical commentary where he goes into the business side of everything. So there's one commentary that's more fun, where it's played a little more like an essay, talking about how the time Star Crash was made and some of the interesting execution bits that are done in it that you don't notice the first time, as well as director Luigi Katze, or Luigi Coates, being or Lewis Coates as he calls himself in America, no relation to our friend Lewis.
Lewis.
Hey, make Godzilla colorful. It's like he mentions, why he's such a big science fiction nerd and how Star Crash is more of an insane love letter to the old school science fiction than Star Wars was, in a sense, so to speak. And then the other commentary is him just talking about more of the technical stuff, like how the exact financial situation and studio situation behind the movie. So yeah, so you get like 2 really awesome commentaries from the same expert, both of them very different, for the same movie. So for that, I'm going to bend the rules and say that's probably my all-time favorite commentary.
Cool.
Yes. You bored me, boy. Move it. Move it along. Galaxy of
gloating
Terror.
about my Star Crash joke.
Yes. What was it? Oh, yeah. Okay, I get it.
No.
You horrible person, you. But yeah, I think I shall check out the Shout Factory Star Crash DVD collections. Oh my goodness. Because I remember when it came out on DVD, I immediately ran out and got it. Because I've seen Star Crash before. The only thing about the Star Crash set that it doesn't include the international French cut of it, which includes a lot of extra scenes. But no, for the most part, it's a great DVD collection. But yeah, with that says, I think we shall call it a night. Unless there's something else.
Howling.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen,
I think that's a good name for a show too.
Night Howling?
No, owling.
Oh, Night Howling. Okay.
We should call it a night. Owling.
We should call it okay, I get it now. We are tired. Brayton, other than that, though, this was a really fun night. I loved looking at all the different illustrations and sketches you had to say about it, and thanks for being patient with some of my sketches and pictures. So.
Oh, it was just delightful.
Yes.
And I'm glad. I mean, if anybody in the audience likes the artwork that you're seeing currently, this new revamped version of Night Owling brought to your eyes in popping color, I hope you're thrilled with it.
Oh, yes.
It was a lot of fun to do.
Yes. It's as much as I enjoyed the kind of nice little late night atmosphere we had with the old Night Owling title cards, yeah, this is definitely a step up, and I thank you very much for it, Brayton. So
Yeah.
okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we actually have an official ending song now instead of me just playing the just
Tell the world.
tell the world we're not in at the minute. Oh god, yeah. What were they? Oh, the Peddlers with "We're Not In Right Now." Yeah, as fun as it is to play that song, there's another song out there that I think is just utterly beautiful, even though it's a little on the silly side, and it's from the band the Aquabats, which we all have a love-hate relationship with. I mostly love. Brayton is mostly hate. And Shay,
I find them charming in their own right.
yeah, it's you gotta appreciate their spunk basically, or spirit.
Yeah,
So,
and I can understand the attraction that you have. It all makes sense.
Yes. But on one of their albums, they have this beautiful song, "Goodbye and Good Night," and I just think it's one of the most beautiful little things they've ever done. And
Hello, good night.
Hello, Good Night. They ended one of their albums with it. I think it was the album "Attack of the Floating Eyeball of Death." But yeah, Brayton actually incorporated it into tonight's song. So if we don't get any major copyright strikes from YouTube in the future, which I'll have to edit this scene out post-wise, this will become the official Night Owling ending song. If not, Brayton, thank you for incorporating it, and we'll see where it goes. Kaiju Commander says, good night, guys. Have a good night and the morning, as the case may be. See you guys Friday. Oh, yes, we might be doing % Weird this week. It's either going to be Thursday or we might push it back to Friday, depending. I'm thinking of doing Night of Way Too Many Clowns with a double feature of Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Shanks the Clown, because both movies have at least 50 clowns in them, so that's a lot of clowns. But we'll see what happens.
If you feel like clowning around, we'll see it around. Yeah. Raph's Big Circus.
Yeah. Big Circus Raph. That should be the audio that we put in.
Oh, yes, that's good.
Yes, I kind of want to get Brayton on board just to see Killer Clowns from Outer Space at least. And Shanks the Clown was something I was going to play the first time I tried to do this stream, but I got scared because I was going to go into the movie cold, and I was afraid it was just going to be really nasty late 80s humor. It's a little bit of that, but it's a much more classier movie, and it's basically a clown-filled raunchy remake of They Made Me a Killer, or They Made Me a Murderer, whatever that public domain film noir was. They Made Me a Fugitive? You remember
They made me a criminal.
They Made Me a Criminal, yeah. It's basically a clown version of that, and it's shocking how many comedians, before they made it big, show up in this movie, both as guest stars and as actual co-stars. So you never thought you would see Tom Kenny as like a
Luigi co-star. Thank you.
I love this thing.
I love my cat fart button too.
Wait, Brayton, we're on a submarine. Das Boot. That means the boot.
It's long and hard and full of semen.
Oh no. But yeah, we're going to either do that Thursday or Friday. I kind of want to see Brayton's reaction towards Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and Lydia maybe join us, but we're going to have to work things out, and we'll reconfirm everything Thursday morning or Wednesday night. But it's up in the air, basically, so.
Yeah. Like the highest trapeze artists.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, we're going to end the night on this particular song. And any last things you want to say, Brayton, here on International Beaver Day?
You know, Dr. Pretorius for Forgotten Rogues. There's one I could add.
Oh yeah, he's great. Yeah. And I would also.
Oh yes.
Oh, it's you again. Sit down and enjoy some wine with me, Big Dead Man.
Come and show my friend.
This is a little keen. I could never get him right, and of course he's the queen. Oh dear, he's at it again. They based one of the lesser-known villains after Dr. Pretorius in Batman the Animated Series, the Tiger episode. So,
okay.
All right, you're probably one of the ones you haven't seen, but it's basically like a play on Dr. Monroe with cat people. So, cat people. Meow.
Flea-bitten sisters.
Coming soon to a circus near you. So, Kate, catch me! I'm texting. No. Oops. Fart. Anyways, how are we going to end this class, Illy?
I think we'll just play the song and
Okay.
roll on out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and a big thanks to anybody who'll be watching this in the future. Horrible jokes aside, I think this was a really good stream. Brayton, fantastic.
But speaking of beavers too, Boogie Nights next weekend.
Oh, duh, yeah, we're gonna be.
Yeah,
I feel like
episode 69 of the movie book or the movie Graveyard Shift, featuring Paul Thomas Anderson's big splash Boogie Nights with. Need I go on? There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, for episode 69 of the movie Graveyard Shift, which is most likely airing this Sunday, we'll be watching Boogie Nights. The anti-nudity harpy will be on overdrive throughout the night, so just to save our asses. And we'll see how that goes. So thank you very much, Brayton. After that, we're gonna do something like the Manchurian Candidate, please. Oh my goodness.
We just left Film Noir month. You want to plunge right back into the darkness?
Oh yeah, it's a classic movie. It can't be that sad well, actually no. Parallax View was pretty sad. Anyways.
Happy Beaver Day!
Hey, happy International Beaver Day, everyone. Thanks for joining us. And you are always loved and appreciated, and we are happy and love to do this show. So, with that said, I leave you behind with one of the most beautiful songs ever, slightly ruined with some of Brayton's comical audio choices. No cat farting, unfortunately. So, here we go. Good night, folks.
Don't get pregnant.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, and thank you for everything.
Here's something to think about when things go wrong all the time. That luck can change like that high tide. Bad things can soon turn out alright. And with each passing day, so goes another life. Everybody wants to live, some people wanna die. So close your eyes, 'cause it's alright to say hello. Good night. A good night. A good night. A good night. So if this is to be our time, just think of what we left behind. Will they say good of you to last, or lose the memory of you fast? Forever and ever, a wonderful thing. Will someone be grateful for what we tried to bring? It's late, but just remember then, this day will never come again.
Oh, you're not saying a damn thing, are you?
And I offered them a peep show. That fell on deaf ears.
Everybody wants to live, some people wait to die. So close your eyes, 'cause it's alright to say hello.
Good night, folks.
Good night. A good night. A good night.